State Farm Insurance and Financial Services is your best choice for dependable insurance coverage and finance options. Local agent Danny Dykes in Moroni offers all types of insurance, as well as State Farm Financial Services, where you're able to finance your dreams through State Farm Bank. State Farm also offers the Pocket Agent app for smartphones and the new Drive Safe and Save discount. Visit your local State Farm Insurance and Financial Services office in Moroni. Phone 800-347-8601. That's 800-347-8601.
Terry R. Brothers in Excavating and TRB Rock Products offers aggregate products for any of your road construction needs, including road base and a selection of crushed rock products. TRB Rock Products also has landscaping products, topsoil, reject sand, and an eye-catching red landscaping rock. They also do commercial and residential construction, basements, water lines, sewer lines, septic tanks, and perk tests. Get a free estimate at 462-3954. TRB Rock Products, a proud supporter of North Sanpete Athletics.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
Anderson, Rick Robinson, welcome you back here to Mount Pleasant, home of the North Sanpete Hawks, where tonight you're listening to the Snow College pregame show. The Horn School of Music is proud to offer the first four-year degree in the history of Snow College, a Bachelor of Music degree in commercial music. Just call 283-7472 to find out more, or go to snow.edu. And Robert, before we left on the break, we said we were going to come back. Let's talk about these key players from North Sanpete tonight.
You know, North Sanpete has a fine collection of senior players. You know, Jake Hadley starts off with that group. He is a strong safety and a wide receiver, and he does an excellent job both ways, both offensively and defensively, and it's always nice to have a leader like that. Zach Lee also plays safety and quarterback, and Zach, southpaw, delivers a very nice ball out there. Trey Sorensen, tight end, linebacker. Trey making many tackles, and he is a nice tight end, does a good job receiving the football. Spencer Applegarth, number 21, senior, he plays corner, and he is one of the better running backs in the state in the 3A division. Landon Glasgow is a corner and a running back as well. Looking on at the other seniors, Kyler Swap, defensive line, offensive line. Tristan Fell, this is his first year playing here at North Sanpete, does an outstanding job. He is at both offense and defensive line. Really had a lot of tackles the last time I had the Hawks. Gavin Raymond, he's a linebacker, offensive line. Taylor Smith, offense and defensive line, does a nice job on that line. Trent Seeley, boy, Trent always comes up with a big play. You know, when you least expect it, Trent comes through. Very nice player. He plays linebacker and wide receiver. Colton Hermanson, defensive and offensive line. And Taylor Jesse, defense and offensive line, actually plays tight end as well. Some nice players, and it's nice to have that many seniors that really contribute to the success of this North Sanpete football team. That makes a big difference if you've got a good complement of senior class members out there helping this football team. North Sanpete is strong with their seniors, and they have some underclassmen that step up big as well. But I think it's you know, the senior class that's really making this team successful this year.
Well, the head coach of the North Sanpete Hawks, of course, Rick Wilson, assisted by Tom Felt, Tyler Bailey, Audrey Rainey, and there's several other assistant coaches. I tried to get different names, but I know they have a lot of JV and assistant coaches. Those are the varsity coaches, but they have a lot of complimentary coaches that come and help. And the athletic director, of course, Sharon Christensen, and the principal, Nan Alt of North Sanpete High School. The head coach of the Carbon Dinos is Josh Huntsman. He's in his first year. replacing a very popular Jan Christensen.
Jorgensen.
Jorgensen,
Jorgensen.
And
Jan, very, very popular, a hometown boy over there. Had a great career at Brigham Young University. And
he actually did a terrific job with Carbon.
He did.
And I saw a lot of improvement with him last year. And he moved to Utah County, he got married, and so his life has moved on, and they have a new coach, but they think that Coach Huntsman is very committed to the program and will be there for a long time.
You know, and everything that I've heard, people are positive about him over there, and of course Jan, I think, is doing a little coaching gig at BYU. You know, he's on the staff there at Brigham Young University and filling in, and you know, do I stay at my high school or do I move to the big city and help out my alumni?
And Doug Johnson will be helping us on stats tonight. We welcome him. I tell you, it sure makes our job a lot easier.
Oh, hey, he's a fantastic stat man. It's always nice to see Doug when you come to do a ball game.
Well, gorgeous night tonight here in Mount Pleasant against the Hillside. Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson getting set to bring you Hawk football. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
The mayor, city council, and residents in the cities of Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni wish the North Sanpete Hawks the best of luck this season. The entire community is proud to support North Sanpete High School in preparing the future leaders of Sanpete County. They're committed to ensuring that area youth are provided the best opportunities to learn the important lessons of life through academics and athletic competition. Good luck to the players, coaches, faculty, staff, and student body from the cities of Fairview, Moroni, and Mount Pleasant.
MKJ Construction has been serving central Utah and the surrounding area for over 30 years. Whether you have a project as large as a new road or water line or as intricate as a decorative landscape feature, we have the experience and equipment to complete any size project. We also deliver sand, gravel, road base, topsoil, and landscaping boulders. Call MKJ Construction at 427-9299, 427-9299, and see what we can do for you.
When you're looking for the most exceptional value in an ATV side-by-side, look no further than your local Kimco dealer, Skyline Motorsports. John Lee and his crew at Skyline Motorsports know the area and the people living here and want to remain friends long after the deal is done. Plus, you don't want to spend another winter shoveling snow, do you? All Kimco side-by-sides can be fit with a snowplow. And Skyline Motorsports is your headquarters for small engine repair, ATVs, chainsaws, snowblowers, lawnmowers. Hey, if it's got a small engine, LeVar can fix it. Check it all out at Skyline Motorsports, south of Fairview on Highway 89.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with a touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. CentraCom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
Terrell Thriftway in Mount Pleasant is always working hard to be your neighborhood grocer. And with items like their famous ugly steaks, I mean, how can something so ugly going on the grill taste so good coming off? And their homemade salsa and cowboy caviar are a hit anywhere they're served. And in the bakery, you'll find Terrell's own roll and scone dough that will brighten up any get-together. Plus, Terrell's prides itself on its produce department, where the finest and fresh produce at great prices can always be found. Drop in today for the best in prices and friendly service. Your neighborhood grocer, Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, and a warm welcome tonight. 84 degrees here in North Sanpete, getting set to host Carbon. And a lot goes on when we bring you a broadcast here. Of course, this is brought to you, the pregame show, by Snow College. You get a quality education that's affordable and fun at Snow College. But we, you know, the PA, for doing the PA tonight for the Hawks, Brad Bentley. Adam Dykes does the clock for him. And we did get other assistant coaches, Rhett Bird, Landon Bailey, Kyle Anderson, and Brett Madsen. And, of course, Doug helped us get that, Doug Johnson. He's our stat guy, and he keeps us in line.
Hey,
here.
Doug is an outstanding stat man, and boy, the engineer here, Barrett Hilton, does a tremendous job with CentraCom.
He's
Barrett,
our producer
boy,
tonight.
He is a fantastic producer. He is the tech specialist around here, and we certainly appreciate Barrett Hilton an awful lot.
And the North Sanpete Broadcasting Club will be doing the filming tonight here. So what's kind of unique about this, Robert, is these two teams are playing football tonight, but they are not in the same region in football. In all other sports, they're in the same region.
And that's kind of a crazy thing. The way these alignments and the different regions, the way they set them up for different sports, it's just crazy to be in the same league in all the other sports and the Utah High School Activity Association, and you're not in the same league in football is just crazy. And last year's game was a league ball game, and North Sanpete came out on top. That was their first win on the year, and it was a tremendous win for the Hawks. Tonight, Carbon with a new coach, and really excited about getting this year going. Both teams have got a win already this year, so I think the matchup is going to be very, very close, but I give the nod to North Sanpete.
Yeah, and Carbon has played Manti, their first game of the season. Manti beat them 38-7, and then in their second game they took on Ben Lomond, and that score was 31-6. And then Leighton Christian, they won last week 39-0. They're presenting the colors, so we're going to take another break, and we'll come back with the start of tonight's kickoff between North Sanpete and Carbon.
Are you looking for comfort, quality, and reliability with your furniture, appliances, or electronics? That's exactly what you find at Beck's Home Furnishings in Mount Pleasant. Choose from a variety of Ashley furniture, Whirlpool and Maytag appliances, and quality electronics. So whether you're looking for a good night's sleep, relaxing in your favorite chair, having a pleasant family dinner, or getting the chores done, Beck's can help. Plus, Beck's has outstanding prices and special sales every week. Visit them today at 14 West Main in Mount Pleasant or online at shopbecks.com.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
You're busy, and we can help. At Skyline Pharmacy, we are pleased to introduce the first and only coordinated, once-a-month refill service in Sanpete County, the Skyline Medication Management Service. It is designed to help you maximize the positive benefits of your medication therapy, as well as save you time and money. Best of all, this service is free. By joining our program, we will automatically refill all of your maintenance medications on the same day, every month. Never worry about making multiple trips to the pharmacy ever again. Stop by today and ask about how we are continuing to help you take care of yourself and your family.
North Sanpete hosting Carbon tonight, the final preseason game of this 2015 football season. Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson getting set to bring you this broadcast from Mount Pleasant. Robert, what do you see that North Sanpete needs to do to win this game tonight?
They really need to move the ball on the ground, and if they can have a good blend of run and pass. They're a team that if you rely on Spencer Applegarth the whole ball game, you're going to wear him down and makes it easier for the other team to play defense. I think they have to have a nice mix of the pass game with the run game, And then, it's a double-edged sword. It's very tough. If they overplay the run, then they can throw the football. If they try to shut the passing game down, Applegarth will tear them apart right here. But they need to keep that in mind the whole ball game, that they need to mix it up. They can't let Carbon depend on one or the other, either pass or run. You have to have a nice blend of pass and run, and they need to step up and force some turnovers for Carbon. The team that has the fewest turnovers is going to win a football game.
Well, we did have a few scores we can pass along. A few games started earlier today. Diamond Ranch in 1A beat Layton Christian 50-14.
Wow.
Of course, Carbon beat Layton Christian last week 39-0. Rich has beaten Monticello 24-0. That is the final. And in the second quarter, it's Union leading Richfield 7-6. That game, 6 o'clock start in Richfield. And this game tonight, I foresee that Carbon will want to try and keep this North Sanpete offense off the field. And if they're able to do that, that's where their success will come.
They're a double wing team, and they're going to run the football an awful lot. They really rely on that double wing attack, and that's basically a running defense. They like to onside kick. I think most all of their kicks in the preseason so far has been an onside kick. Every time they do kick the ball off, they like to onside it, and they don't like to punt the football. So there's some of the things that might play into North Sanpete's hand. The punt can really be a weapon, but this team doesn't like to punt, and they don't like to kick the ball deep. They're going to kick the ball short and try to get the ball back by executing the special teams game and a lot of onside kicks.
Well, Snow College is in the top 10% of the nation in student success. Turn on your education and visit snow.edu. They're bringing us this pregame show. We'll take a final quick break, and we'll come back with the kickoff.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Visit your Sanpete Valley Conoco in Moroni, where you'll find courteous service at the convenience store and the world-famous Sanpete barbecue turkey sandwiches. Sanpete Valley Conoco is the place for refreshing frazzles, irresistible treats, delicious pizza, and the only place to get the new Yo Cream. Yogurt's only creamier with lots of toppings, and the new Boba Bursts, a new experience in eating ice cream. They also serve all of Central Utah with bulk fuel, oil, and lube delivery, whether in the drum or bucket. Visit Sanpete Valley Conoco at the junction of highways in Moroni.
You're listening to North Sanpete Hawk football on KLGL 94.5 FM. Home of the North Sanpete Hawks tonight, and they're hosting the Carbon Dinos, and North Sanpete won the toss. They have chosen to defer, so Carbon will receive, and they'll be going from the south to the north. And we do have one college game being played tonight in the state of Utah. That game does not start until 7 o'clock, same time as this one. Of course, the University of Utah, ranked 20th in the nation, hosting the Utah State Aggies tonight.
That's always a scary game. Those in-state rivals, oh my goodness. And Utah looked very good against the Michigan Wolverines, and I was impressed with their offense as well as their defense is always good. Whittingham defense is tough to beat, but I was impressed with the Utes last week. And
of course, tomorrow night, Brigham Young University hosts Boise State. I guess Boise's ranked 20th. I think the U of U is ranked 25th. I said they were 20th, and they play at 8:15 tomorrow night.
Now that's going to be an excellent football game as well.
And that will be on one of our Mid-Utah radio stations. It's going to be taken at the 5, out to the 10, cuts over to the 15, the 20, and brought down just outside the 20, maybe around the 22, 23-yard line, depending on the spot.
Hadley there defensively for the Hawks, and Jake, just one of those spark plugs that you depend on. He is there time and time again, and what an outstanding young football player he is.
And I believe that was Isaac Sanchez who carried that out for the Dinos.
Tell that tall stork one to sit down. I can't see anything.
Now, Taylor Rasmussen, a senior quarterback, comes underneath center for the Dinos. Wing T formation. The pitch is in the backfield on the wing T end around, and that goes back to Logan Olson, and Olson is going to be stacked at the line of scrimmage if he made it back to the 24-yard line.
I think he lost a yard or two on that carry right there, as North Sanpete was very strong defensively.
So it's down to the 23-yard line. Second down and 11. Initial possession of this game for either team. Carbon start at their own 24-yard line, trying to pick up their initial first down. And again, a double wing formation. And this time coming back the opposite direction. And again, it's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. The Hawk front linemen are there to stop the ball carrier. And that ball carrier was Brad Chatterton.
You know, Chatterton was stopped by one of the down linemen for North Sanpete. It wasn't Tristan Fell, but it was a young man, I think, right next to him. I can't see his number right now, but once again, stopped right at the long line of scrimmage with great defensive pressure by the Hawks.
So Rasmussen will now go in shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sends Chatterton in motion. Now all of them are to the left of him. Rasmussen trying to pass, throws it downfield, and it's going to be caught, and then dropped immediately is Chatterton. But I think they're still short of the first down. When Chatterton caught that, he was just leveled. I don't know how he hung on to it. He does get out to the 30-yard line.
I think Landon Glasgow there on the hit for North Sanpete, and boy, that was a thundering blow that he made. Just a crunch out there defensively.
And what a great catch by Brad Chatterton. So punting formation on a 4th down and 4. Snap is down, almost blocked. I don't know how it got out of there. It takes a bounce at the 42, goes down the 40, the 35, and it's going to be down at the 32-yard line. And that's where North Sanpete will take over with no score in this ball game, and the Hawks at their own 32-yard line.
Spencer Applegarth was there to receive that, and it was such a poor kick. Spencer just got out of the way, and Carbon downed the football.
So the ball's marked at the 32-yard line. North Sanpete with their initial possession. Carbon unable to pick up more than 6 yards on their initial possession. So now, under center is Lee. And now Lee's going to back up. Shotgun formation. Wants to throw to his left. Now to the right. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's got lots of room. He's at the 30, the 35, and going to be brought down very close to the first down out across the 40. And I think he'll depend on the spot whether or not he has a first down.
I think they gave him a very favorable spot. He's got the first down by about 2 yards on that, and really a nice decision by Zach Lee as he pulled the ball down, saw enough running room out in front of him to pick up a first down for the Hawks.
And tonight's ball game is brought to you in part by Ecolife, supporting the North Sanpete Hawks. And again, North Sanpete, Lee's under center. Now he backs up in shotgun formation, and Carbon jumps offside. An easy call. And a lot of times the players will say, hurry and get back, hurry and get back. But in high school, once you cross the plane, you cannot get back. And it's real confusing because if you watch college and pros, as long as you get back before the snap, you're okay.
He was way across. He was in North Sanpete's backfield, and he slaps his helmet and said, my bad.
Lee, again in shotgun formation, sends a man in motion. It's Applegarth. And now the pass quickly out to Applegarth. He's got it at the line of scrimmage. Cuts across the 50 into Carbon territory. Picks up maybe 4 yards, depending on the spot. Very, very close to the first down.
He's going to be just a little bit shy, but great extra or second effort there by Applegarth as he caught the ball at the line of scrimmage, and he had to really work hard to pick up 4, but they're going to be 2nd and 1.
Kind of interesting. They sent Applegarth in motion and then threw the little flare pass out to him.
Well, it gets your quarterback going right here. Give him a nice, easy pass to complete, and it really helps Zach Lee's confidence to complete that first pass.
Hawks sent 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They fake that. No, they do give a handoff on a dive play off the left side, and Landon Glasgow picks up the first down.
Nice little run right there. He got just enough for a first down. Give him about 2 on that carry, but a nice effort by Glasgow.
And so Hawks with 2 first downs on a drive that started down and around their own 32-yard line. They have now moved into Carbon territory. No score in the ball game, and now they signal the first down. From our angle, we could easily see that was a first down.
We've got a pretty good vantage point right here.
Yes.
We're right on the 50-yard line, and it is easy to see.
So it's at the 46-yard line of Carbon. 1st and 10 for North Sanpete. Lee comes underneath center. Zach does send a man in motion. That's Hadley. I formation. The handoff is to the up man. The ball's on the ground, a fumble, and I believe Carbon has come up with it.
You know, they fake the pitch right there, and the running back never got control of that ball, and it is recovered by the Carbon Dinos. North Sanpete's got to bowl their necks defensively. There's one thing we talked about in the pregame is turnovers. To win a football game, you've got to have fewer turnovers than your opponent or else play exceptionally well.
And tonight's game brought to you in part by Jones and the Mill Engineering, supporting North Sanpete football. And our scores 0-0. The Dinos with their second possession here in the first half. And a pitch is given in the backfield. And I believe that ball carrier will have to see was Chatterton, I think. We'll have to pick up. No, is it? It's number 25.
Chatterton it is with the carry. That's who they credit him with. And he, loses some yardage on that run. North Sanpete doing a great job of getting into the backfield defensively.
7:22 to go in the first period. Game is brought to you in part by Sanpete Valley Hospital. And now coming under center is Rasmussen. Does send a man in motion. And the give on the round is thrown back to Olsen. And then Olsen has just leveled. And we'll have to see where they mark his forward progress, because he's going to lose 4 or 5 yards depending on how they spot it.
Once again, a real misdirection play. They fake the dive to the left, and the quarterback continues that little pirouette and then pitches the ball to Olsen. And Olsen was caught about 4 yards deep in the backfield.
Well, the line of scrimmage was the 38-yard line, and it's marked back to the 34. To get the first down, the Dinos have to get out to the 48-yard line. So it's 3rd down and a short 14. Rasmussen under center does send a man in motion, and it's given to the man on the end around. Again, that's Logan Olsen. And Olsen is going to be, again, brought down after maybe just a 1-yard pickup. This North Sanpete run defense has played very well here early.
Nice job. I think Taylor Lee making a tackle there. Olsen did gain a couple of yards on that run, but it's still going to bring up 4th and at least 12. So nice job defensively by the Hawks.
And Applegarth will stand down around his own 29-yard line. The kick is up, and again, it looked like it could have been blocked. Applegarth picks it up at the 29, jukes back to the 30. He's out to the 35, and he's going to be caught right at the 35-yard line. Applegarth just got caught by the ankles, and he couldn't get loose.
Really credit to Carbon for a nice job special teams right here with their punt coverage. Applegarth didn't find any running room at all because of the great downfield coverage of the Dinos.
And our Sanpete Valley Hospital score update is no score between North Sanpete and Carbon. The second possession for the Hawks. And our Terrell's Marketplace time check is 5:42 to go in the first period. So now Lee comes under center. He's been going back to shotgun formation. He does such. Has Applegarth off to the left. 2 receivers to the right, and now the referee signals timeout. And the back judge calls a flag. I believe there's going to be an illegal substitution as the Dinos have 12 men on the field. That's what he's counting the players, and maybe they'll wave it off. Yep, there's 11. I know the back judge thought there were 12 men on the field. And, you may complain about that, but if they snap the football, it's illegal participation. You'd lots rather see them call it before they snap it, because then they can count and wave it off, just what they did. Now, Lee, back to pass, throws over the center, has a man, it's caught for the first down at the 45, the 50, the 45 of Carbon, at the 40, down to the 35, the 30, and out of bounds inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Trey Sorensen, the receiver for the Hawks, and did a great job, but it was the run after the catch that was even huger than that catch. But a super job by Sorensen, and really puts the North Sanpete Hawks near the red zone. They're about 4 yards short of the 20, so a nice pass and catch, as well as a super run by Trey Sorensen.
Trey caught it right at first down territory on a dead run. Now Lee, again, looking at Applegarth. He gives to Applegarth, and Applegarth on a dive play off the right guard, cuts upfield down around the 15-yard line on a great dive.
Applegarth straight up the middle there, and he found some nice running room, picks up about 7 yards, and Applegarth, I know, had a little thumb injury, but it didn't seem to bother him on that particular run.
And they mark it at the 16. So now the Hawks have to get to the 18 for the first down, 2nd and 3. Threatening to score in a scoreless tie here in the first period. Lee gives it to Applegarth, and Applegarth is stacked right at the handoff. The Hawks fortunate not to have a turnover. That was just good football as they made sure they didn't fumble it, as Carbon was right in at the handoff.
Boy, yeah, Carbon knew where that play was going before the Hawks even put it in motion, and get the Hawks in the backfield for a loss on that. And Hawks have got a big third down play coming up.
And they're going to mark it, we'll call this a long 5, as the ball's at the 19-yard line. And Lee, again, shotgun formation. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. He cuts off tackle on the right side. He's inside the 10, the 5. He could score. He does.
Well, great job by Lee, and that was a quarterback keeper all the way, as he did a short fake on the dive, but Lee busted it to the right side, which is the Hawk side of the field. He just outran everyone to the flag. Touchdown, North Sanpete.
It was the angle he took. You weren't sure he had the angle to get around, but boy, he exploded once he got around the defensive end, and North Sanpete has taken a 6-0 lead here.
Great example of speed by Lee.
Now, Hawks getting set here. They have all the linemen. It's going to be a 2-point try. The pitch is back in the backfield, and it's not going to be good. As they pitched, the Hawks, Hadley pitched back to Atkinson, and Atkinson did not get in. Or is that wasn't Atkinson?
They ran away from the strength there. They lined up everybody but the center to the left, and then they ran to the right. Didn't fool anybody by the Carbon Dinos.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. Hawks leading 6-0.
State Farm Insurance and Financial Services is your best choice for dependable insurance coverage and finance options. Local agent Danny Dykes in Moroni offers all types of insurance, as well as State Farm Financial Services, where you're able to finance your dreams through State Farm Bank. State Farm also offers the Pocket Agent app for smartphones and the new Drive Safe and Save discount. Visit your local State Farm Insurance and Financial Services office in Moroni. Phone 800-347-8601. That's 800-347-8601.
Terry R. Brothers in Excavating and TRB Rock Products offers aggregate products for any of your road construction needs, including road base and a selection of crushed rock products. TRB Rock Products also has landscaping products, topsoil, reject sand, and an eye-catching red landscaping rock. They also do commercial and residential construction, basements, water lines, sewer lines, septic tanks, and perk tests. Get a free estimate at 462-3954. TRB Rock Products, a proud supporter of North Sanpete Athletics.
And Atkinson getting set to kick to Nathan Olson and also Brad Chatterton, but it's going to be one of the upbacks that picks it up right at the 20-yard line and then brought down. I'm sure they're going to get forward progress. Well, we'll have to see. Maybe because he broke away. They're going to put it right around the 16.
A great defensive stop right there on special teams for the Hawks, as the running back for the Dinos dropped the football, picked it up, and that was not a good scenario for the Dinos.
And they did move it out to the 19-yard line. So tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cache Valley Bank. And our score is 6-0 in favor of North Sanpete. 3:52 to go in the first period. And the Dinos, Rasmussen underneath center in a double wing formation. If you've seen Gunnison play, very similar to what they run. Also Davis ran it for years. And again, a dive play on the right side for almost no gain. And I believe it's maybe out to the 20-yard line for a 1-yard gain. Tell you, North Sanpete has yet to give up a first down here in this game. They've given up one pass play. It was about 13, well, it was about 10 yards, but the Dinos had to go about 15, so they have yet to give up a first down. Rasmussen fakes the handoff, rolling out to the right, wanting to throw. Plant throws downfield, has a man, and it's caught. Is it now? Is it? Yes, it is caught. A nice play by Logan Olson. But Rasmussen on a dead run. What a great pass play, Robert.
You know, it was a great pass play, and Olson with a very nice reception. And you've got to really credit the quarterback for getting that throw off. He had Hermanson right in his face, closing down on him. And, boy, he hung in there and threw it. Hermanson's a big old body with an arm fully stretched out. Made it very difficult to throw the football, but it was a great pass.
And now, quarterback sneak by Rasmussen, and Rasmussen does pick up yardage out from the 39 to the 40-yard line for a 1-yard pickup. But this Hawk defense, again, very stingy on the run.
You know, they're very quick off the ball, and that's the thing that impresses me with them. You know, they are quick as the ball is snapped. They are there, and they're alert. Their heads are up. They find the ball and do a fine job of tackling. Once again, stingy here. They give up a yard is all.
2nd down and 9 for Carbon. The ball's at their own 40-yard line. Hawks up 6-0. 2:17 to go in the first period here. And Rasmussen, senior quarterback, does send a man in motion. And the handoff is to Chatterton. And Chatterton's going to be brought down for a loss of 2 yards. And I'll tell you, this North Sanpete front defense, very, very impressive here against Carbon early.
Hey, Hadley there on the tackle for North Sanpete, and you know, he's playing cornerback, and yet he's getting in the backfield and making stops. Just an outstanding job by Hadley.
And the ball's moved back to the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 11 for the Dinos. Rasmussen comes in shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quick pass over. It's going to be caught by Chatterton, but well short of the first down for maybe a 3 or 4 yard pickup. And it appears it'll be a punting situation for this Dino team.
Well short of the first down marker, 4th down for the Dinos.
I think Lee over there on the stop for the Hawks, and boy, he was really closed down fast.
Well, Hadley will now go back for North Sanpete along with Applegarth. Hadley picks it up at the 35. He's got room. He's at the 40, the 50, into Carbon territory, the 45, and down to the 40, depending on where they spot him out of bounds.
The last stop was made by Atkins right there, and just a super job by Hadley running the football. Gets knocked out of bounds on about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and when he ended up, we could see was inside maybe around the 39, but they mark him out. We're looking to see. There is a flag, and I didn't see the penalty.
It is. I didn't see it, but it is against North Sanpete, and this play is going to come back.
Well, what will happen is that's a post-scrimmage kick penalty, so North Sanpete had the football. They will retain it, and the penalty's marked from where it happened. I would guess it's a block in the back or.
Wow.
Oh, well, I don't know what. It's not a block in the back because it went 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't
Has to be some kind of a personal foul, doesn't it?
Well, we was looking to see if I could see it on the replay. Again, our TV listeners, we hope you're enjoying this tonight on CentraCom Channel 10. And now North Sanpete, nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 for the Hawks. The ball down around, we'll have to see, mark it where it is, and it's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard pickup out across the 30-yard line.
He was brought down by Christensen.
Christensen on the stop for the Dinos.
31-yard line. Gain of 5 on play by Spencer. 2nd and 5.
Applegarth, the ball carrier for the Hawks, he picks up 5 yards.
So they move it out to the 31. This drive started their own 26. North Sanpete leading 6-0. This game is brought to you in part by Terrell's Marketplace, supporting the North Sanpete Hawks. Also Beck's Home Furnishings. Now, I formation. Going back to pass, throws downfield. It looks like it could have been intercepted, but it wasn't. Pass was intended for Atkinson, as Lee threw over the middle, and a little miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback that time.
You know, North Sanpete can thank their lucky stars that that one was not intercepted.
Okay, there's timeout. We'll be back with the Hawks leading 6-0.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
The mayor, city council, and residents in the cities of Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni wish the North Sanpete Hawks the best of luck this season. The entire community is proud to support North Sanpete High School in preparing the future leaders of Sanpete County. They're committed to ensuring that area youth are provided the best opportunities to learn the important lessons of life through academics and athletic competition. Good luck to the players, coaches, faculty, staff, and student body from the cities of Fairview, Moroni, and Mount Pleasant.
And Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson with a warm welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. We got Barrett Hilton right next to us doing our production work, and we appreciate him. And we also have Doug Johnson doing our stats. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Hawks. And a quick pass over. It's going to be caught, and then no, I don't think they're going to rule it caught. Pass intended for Trey Sorensen from Zach Lee.
Trey Sorensen, really extended his arms fully out from his body, catches the ball right in his hands, but couldn't pull it back to the body as he was hit immediately, and the ball was jarred loose, and they call it an incomplete pass. But Trey makes a great effort there trying to catch the football and bring it in, and it just didn't happen.
And our Skyline Motorsports score update, 6-0 North Sanpete with 11:56 to go in the first half. And the Hawks looking to probably punt on a 4th down and 5 here. And North Sanpete only had 10 players on the field. Now they brought an 11th player. And a deep snap, but it's going to be caught. A nice punt. Holy cow. What a great punt. What it looked like disaster could have happened for the Hawks. And it was kicked away there by Zach Lay. Incredible punt when he was under huge pressure. And Carbon didn't have anybody back, and North Sanpete downs it right at the 26-yard line.
That was a dart right there for the Hawks, getting that ball away and getting it downfield, catching the Dinos without anyone back. They sold the farm trying to block that punt, but Lee barely got it away, and it turns into a great punt for the Hawks.
And they do mark first touching at the 27-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Carbon from their own 27-yard line. North Sanpete leading 6-0. And where Carbon has had their most success is 2 passing plays. Other than that, they have been unable to run in this game. And now the ball is snapped back in the backfield to Olsen. And Olsen trying to go out wide and is going to be brought down with this double wing offense. that Carbon runs, and I apologize because I've seen Gunnison run.
Gunnison's run it so many years that it's just automatic, and they're in blue uniforms, blue pants with white jerseys, and dark blue with black trim on their jersey right there. So it looks an awful lot like Gunnison out there with the color scheme as well as the double wing offense.
Clearly, Carbon out on the field. And it's going to be second down at 10 from their own 27-yard line. No gain for the Dinos. And Rasmussen again looking over this Hawk defense, giving him lots of trouble. And now they're going to give back in the backfield and brought down for a huge loss as Olsen. The second he took it about 5 yards in the backfield, he was leveled.
You know, a great tackle that time by the Hawks, Trent Seeley. It looked like Trent Seeley was on a blitz all the way. Trent playing a linebacker spot, and boy, he got in the backfield and tackles Olsen for a loss of at least 4 yards.
And that was an MKJ construction hit there by the Hawks. I'll tell you what, MKJ construction just did a great job that time. Now on a third down at about 15, the snap is dropped by Rasmussen. He picks it up, rolling out to his right, going to throw downfield, and it's going to be almost intercepted by the Hawks. Atkinson, as Holden was there in great position.
Old Atkinson had a great chance of coming up with an interception right there, and just could not corral it. He was in position between the intended receiver, but could not bring it in.
And so now Carbon will show a punting situation here. And their kicker is Logan Olsen. And Olsen gets it away. The Hawks have really put a lot of pressure, and it takes a Carbon bounce at the 40, down to the 35 to 30, out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Oh, it wasn't a pretty kick, but I'll tell you, when it hit the ground, it took a Carbon roll.
It was pretty effective. Whether it was pretty or not, it was a very effective punt by the Dinos, and Olsen with the punt right there of 52 yards.
And just an impressive kick there. Some score updates. Ben Lowman leading Park City 14-0.
Oh, that's a shocker.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ben Lowman had only won 3 games in 5 years, and they own a win over Richfield and a win over Carbon already. And now they're up 14-0 on Park City. Of course, that's in the first period. 1st and 10 for this Hawk team, leading 6-0. And now Lee in shotgun formation does give off to Applegarth, and Applegarth veers over the center, then cuts right, but not much there, maybe 2-3 yards depending on the spot.
You know, really not an awful lot. Applegarth gets a little gain right there. He started hard to the left and then cut back against the grain and found a little room there.
And we do have a halftime score in Richfield. It's 14 for Union, 12 for Richfield. Beaver leading North Summit 7-0. Some of the scores to pass along.
Union 14, Richfield 12. Again, that was at halftime.
And now second down, and we'll call it a short 8 for Lee. In shotgun formation, Lee's going to be a quarterback keeper. He cuts upfield. He's got the first down. He's across the 35, out close to the 40-yard line on a dive play off the right guard.
You know, an outstanding job and a decision there as Lee faked the ball to the running back, and then he took off on his own straight up the middle of the field and got those long legs motivating right there, and broke through a couple of tackles to pick up a first down. I've never seen this running ability out of Lee like he's doing this evening. Great effort by the running of Lee.
1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 39-yard line, leading 6-0 here. Shotgun formation. Lee back to pass, fakes in and then throws out, and it looked like it almost was going to be caught by Seeley. Trent cut in, and then he cut toward the post and then cut out toward the flag in Carbon territory. The pass was thrown where it had to be a little low, and they couldn't quite come up with it.
You know, a great effort on both players. intent on that pass and reception. Just couldn't quite make it fit. Great coverage, though, by the Dinos.
2nd down and 10 for the North Sanpete Hawks here. And taking a long time in the huddle here, which generally means a passing situation. I mean, I doesn't always mean that, but I'm willing to bet on it.
Well, Atkinson brings the play in, and he is a wide receiver. Boy, the ball comes, they must have blew the whistle.
Well, what happened, the center could see the back, Judge County, so Earring snapped it, but not before the layup game came. And now the layup game will cost the Hawks 5 yards. And they took a long time to get that play in. You could kind of feel that they were going to have to hustle. And it's going to be 2nd down and 15 now for North Sanpete from their own 34-yard line.
And they're looking over at Coach Feld, and he says, just go run the play.
And now, Zach Lee in shotgun formation. And it's going to be a quarterback sweep on the left side all the way. And Lee cuts across the 35 out to the 37, maybe 38-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and long for this Hawk team.
Hawk needs a big play right here, a big 3rd down for them. They would like to pick this 3rd down up right here as they do lead this football game 6-0. And
that score update brought to you by Skyline Pharmacy.
That's wonderful. Skyline Pharmacy appreciates that very much, and they would even appreciate a big 1st down play by the Hawks.
And the city of Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni time check is 8 minutes even to go in the first half. Robert Anderson, myself, Rick Robinson, along with Barrett Hilton, bringing you tonight's broadcast. And now on an end around, it's given in the backfield and maybe fumbled, picked up there by Glasgow. Glasgow's going to pick up the 1st down. He could go. It looked like he'd lost the fumble at the 30-yard line. He picks it up, goes out to the 40, the 50, and then into Carbon territory around the 40-yard line and brought down.
Boy, what a great effort by Glasgow right here. The play was intended to go right. He slipped. He came back to his left. He had a dino that was hanging on to his britches right there, and boy, he made every effort, finally broke the grasp and picked up a huge 1st down.
Well, I looked down for a second to look at my cover, and he was racing down the sideline. That's a broadcaster's nightmare when you look down and don't see everything. So the Hawks in Carbon territory at the 38-yard line. Lee back to pass, plants, going to cut up, now he throws over the middle. It's going to be caught by Applegard. He's got it at the 35, the 30, he's got the 1st down, the 25, the 20, veers inside the 15, and trying to fight his way down to the 10-yard line, and a helmet comes off.
It is a dino helmet that comes flying off. He comes and picks it up and heads to the sideline to get an equipment repair. But great effort by Spencer Applegarth right there, as once again it was a total broken play, but he made something good happen out of that little pass. It turns into a 25-yard play by Spencer Applegarth.
And that's going to be 1st and 10, about the 11-yard line. Maybe 12-yard line. I'm going to say the 12-yard line. So the Hawks leading 6-0 here. And that score update brought to you by Central Valley Medical Center. Now Lee back to pass. He's going to roll out to his right. Has time, throws over. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's not caught. It went up high.
Trent Seeley, intended receiver right there. And I think Seeley kind of turned into a defensive player as he had to come from behind the defender.
Kind of similar to the BYU play where he came up and got in front. He had a defender on his backside and just couldn't quite come down with it. And, of course, I think if you're a football fan, everybody knows the BYU play at the end of the ball game last week against
Nebraska. The miracle pass, I tell you what, everybody in the country knows about that play.
So now, Zach Lee, shotgun formation, has Applegarth to the right of him, 2 receivers clear to the far right, 2 to the far left. And I think the Hawks were trying to draw him off sides. The referee calls timeout, dead ball. It'll be delay of game on North Sanpete.
Boy, that's a costly error right there. You want to get that play going.
It's the second delay of game on this drive.
The first one, they come up with an unbelievable play to get the first down. Maybe they've got the luck with them right now. They certainly are going to need some here.
So the ball's moved out to the 17-yard line. Second down and 15. And the handoff is to, I believe, Applegarth. He's got room. He's at the 10. He cuts to the 5, and he's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. Applegarth, very, very close.
Another big broken play that turns into a first down for the Hawks. A great effort by Applegarth. He was caught in the backfield and could have been caught for another loss that would have brought up a big play of nearly put it into a 3rd and 20 situation.
Well, Robert called it. He said last time they had a delay of game, they had a big play. I've got to look at your psyches here.
Exactly, same thing happened. A broken play turned into a first down, and that's exactly what happened here.
6-0. The give is to Applegarth, and I don't believe he got in. The Hawks trying to extend their lead, leading Carbon 6-0 with 6:02 to go in the first half. That score update brought to you by Terry Brotherson Excavating. Also State Farm Insurance, Danny Dykes. Longtime supporters of the North Sanpete Hawks.
Applegarth didn't pick up any yardage on that first down play. Second down play coming up right here.
Yeah.
It's a yard away from the end zone.
Well, I'm calling it a credit card away.
Yes, it is.
It's really close. And the handoff to Applegarth, and Applegarth falls forward, and again they're going to mark him down. Oh, he ended up in the end zone at the end, but they ruled his knee was down. It's where the football is when the knee is down.
They didn't get a break there. I thought he was in the end zone, and we don't have the best vantage point here. We're on the 50-yard line, and they're down to, they say, the 1-foot line here.
I don't know. If you had a penalty and moved it half the distance, I don't think you could move the football.
No,
that's how close this is.
Very, very close to a touchdown.
So 3rd down and go, and as a quarterback sneak, Lee falls forward, and it's a touchdown. North Sanpete extends their lead 12-0.
Right here, Lee's about 6'2", and he just used that long, lanky body of his to get across the goal line. Touchdown for the Hawks. Great play by the Hawks under duress a couple of times on this drive, and they've come up with big plays.
Now, last time North Sanpete went for 2, and I do see a tee out on the field. Of course, they had a tee last time. And 12-0. North Sanpete trying to add to this lead. And they're going for 2. Lee in shotgun formation. Throws over in the corner of the end zone, and it's going to be caught. It was tipped and caught. I believe is that Applegarth.
Spencer Applegarth on the reception there, and so they pick up the 2-point conversion to move the score to 14-zip for the Hawks. And, great call by the coaching staff here at North Sanpete.
I thought it had been intercepted. It was flipped through the Carbon defender's hands, and Applegarth has it. 14-0 Hawks. We'll be back.
MKJ Construction has been serving Central Utah and the surrounding area for over 30 years. Whether you have a project as large as a new road or water line or as intricate as a decorative landscape feature, we have the experience and equipment to complete any size project. We also deliver sand, gravel, road base, topsoil, and landscaping boulders. Call MKJ Construction at 427-9299, 427-9299, and see what we can do for you.
When you're looking for the most exceptional value in an ATV side-by-side, look no further than your local Kimco dealer, Skyline Motorsports. John Lee and his crew at Skyline Motorsports know the area and the people living here and want to remain friends long after the deal is done. Plus, you don't want to spend another winter shoveling snow, do you? All Kimco side-by-sides can be fit with a snowplow. And Skyline Motorsports is your headquarters for small engine repair, ATVs, chainsaws, snowblowers, lawnmowers. Hey, if it's got a small engine, LeVar can fix it. Check it all out at Skyline Motorsports, south of Fairview on Highway 89.
The North Sanpete Hawks leading 14-0. The kickoff is going to be taken by the Dinos. And it's taken by Nathan Olson. Olson catches it on a dead run at the 10, the 15, rolls out to the left side and brought down outside the 25, maybe the 26-yard line.
A great return, really the best kick that North Sanpete has had this evening. A very high kick straight down the middle of the field, but Olson did a nice job returning the ball, gets him out over the 25-yard line.
And I do have a score update. I know North Sanpete's interested in they'd kind of like to hear how Stansbury's doing because they played them. Stansbury trails Tooele 6-0 at the end of one period right now. And now, 1st and 10 for for Carbon at their own 25-yard line. Rasmussen under center. And it's going to be given on the end around by the big bully fullback. And that's Dallin Maurer carries. He doesn't get a whole lot of yardage right here out of this. He ran a lot laterally there. He did. He ran a long ways laterally to pick up about a yard and a half. Once again, it is a misdirection play as everything started to the right and Maurer went back to the left, picks up 2 yards. And a score update from Richfield Union, now leading Richfield 21-12. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter in that game. Our score is 14-0 in favor of North Sanpete. And now there's movement. And we'll have to see who the penalty is. I would guess it's on Carbon. And it is on Carbon. It's encroachment. I thought I saw the official signal. Yeah, one of the North Sanpete down linemen got just a little bit antsy right there. And North Sanpete has been so quick off the ball that those things do happen, but they've done a great job defensively. 2nd down and 3 from their 34-yard line. Dinos down by 14. Rasmussen fakes the handoff, spins, throws downfield, has it, man, caught for a first down at the 50-yard line. That was Peyton Fawcett. And a nice passing play. I tell you, the nice thing about this Carbon team's been their passing, Robert. You know, they've mixed it up, and they're a team that would rather run the ball than pass the ball. But Rasmussen has been very efficient passing the football. There is a holding penalty in the backfield right here, so this nice pass play is going to come back. Well, the Dinos had their best play of the night. They were at the midfield, and they have a 10-yard penalty, and that is a spot foul from where the penalty happened. It goes all the way back to the 15. They were on the North Sanpete side of the 50-yard line, so that's a huge penalty. Yeah, that's a differential of 35 yards. So now shotgun formation for Rasmussen. He sends 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Low snap, but he picks it up. Being pressured, he throws it, and Rasmussen threw it just to get rid of it. Did have a couple receivers, but had he not thrown that, he would have been dropped. He would have been dropped on about the 3-yard line, so it was really fortunate that they could get that play away and that it came up hitting green turf rather than a black jersey. So it's going to be 3rd down and a long ways to go. We're going to say 21 here. At least 21, could be 22. And so now Rasmussen this time will come under center. Double wing formation. And now Rasmussen rolling out to his right, trying to get a man downfield. Has it, man. It's caught again. It's caught by the receiver Fawcett, who caught it last time. Fawcett does cut up field for a nice gain and has the first down for Carbon. Has the first down, boy. That's about a 23-yard pass play right here as Rasmussen faked the ball to the left, rolled back to his right, and found Fawcett open for a big first down. Huge first down by the Dinos. So now the Dinos 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line, trailing 14-0 with 4:18 to go in the first half. This game is brought to you in part by Sanpete Valley Conoco. Of course, they will be sponsoring our defensive player of the game. Want to join us post-game. Rasmussen underneath center. Fakes to the right, goes back to the left to Chatterton. And Chatterton does pick up 1, maybe 2 yards Again, this North Sanpete team been very stingy on the ground tonight. I would guess that Doug Johnson will tell us at halftime, not many yards on the ground.
You know, Atkinson on the stop there for the North Sanpete Hawks. And North Sanpete has been very, very stingy as far as giving up yards with the rush. Where they've been burned a little bit is when they oversell the run and forget the pass.
Now, quick pass is over, almost intercepted as that pass hit in the hands of Waylon Atkinson.
Pass was nearly broken up, or nearly intercepted, was broken up by number 8, Waylon Atkinson.
Waylon was in the right spot at the right time there, got a hand out and knocked that ball down, or that could have been another big pass play for the Dinos.
Yeah, Fawcett's been the man here. Big 6'7" tight end. And he's their center in basketball, big guy. And so now Carbon will come out in a shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right. They do send a man in motion. And you got to keep an eye. Fawcett fakes like he's going to go in, comes back and tries to catch it, and the ball's knocked away by this Hawk defense. It looked like Fawcett maybe was going to catch it at the Hawk 45-yard line, and they recovered nicely.
Olson was the one that came back and actually took the ball away from his own teammate right there. And Fawcett came back, and if Olson hadn't have cut in front of him, he had a great chance of a reception that would have been another first down. But Olson, you can't blame him. He was going after the football.
So North Sanpete will send deep Applegarth. He's standing right around his own 30-yard line. And the punt is back. It's a short one. And a fair catch is called. And North Sanpete's just going to let the ball bounce. And the Dinos will drop it. Now, question is, can one receiver call a fair catch and the other one catch it? Absolutely he can, but neither one of them can move it.
They can't advance the ball when the fair catch is signaled. But there's one, if you're going to call a fair catch, unless it's way over your head, you want to come back and catch that football. That cost North Sanpete a good 10 yards by not catching that football.
Well, the ball is marked at the 23-yard line of the Hawks. North Sanpete leading 14-0 with 3:18 to go in the first half here in Mount Pleasant. And now shotgun formation for Zach Lee. Lee trying to back up. Now he's going to throw down. Pump fake. Now he throws downfield. Intended for Trey Sorensen. But Sorensen stopped, and Lee threw it down. I think he was looking for him to kind of hesitate, then cut upfield.
You know, just overthrown Sorensen, and Lee was not on the same page on that pattern. And, you know, credit Lee showing off his arm right there. Threw the ball about 40 yards in the air.
Again, the last score from Salt Lake City, we had Utah leading the Utah State Aggies 7-0. Join us at halftime. We'll try and give you all the stats. Robert will give us Doug's stats, and we'll give you some score updates. Now, quick pass is thrown out. It's caught by Applegarth out in the flat. He's out to the 20, at the 25-yard line. Well short of the first down, but does pick up a few yards.
You know, Applegarth not really large in stature. One of the Dinos reached out and grabbed him by the arm, and Applegarth tried that he might, could not pull it away from the defender.
And North Sanpete has taken timeout. We'll be back with the Hawks leading 14-0.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with the touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. CentraCom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
And Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson, welcome you back here to Mount Pleasant. And 2:56 going the first half with the Hawks leading Carbon 14-0.
Rick Wilson out on the field right now trying to get an interpretation from the officials. He's pointing at the score clock and a couple things. We'll see if he has any luck working on these officials right here.
Well, he wanted time on the clock, and we're coming off a timeout here, and we'll see what they
they're just going to let it go.
So the referee goes over in position, and it remains 2:56 to go here in the first half. Hawks leading 14-0. In the game brought to you tonight on KLGL 94.5 FM. Now throw over the middle. It's going to be through the fingertips of Atkinson.
Taylor Lee right there was the intended receiver, I believe, or Atkinson. And
was it Lee?
I think it was Atkinson. I think they flip-flop numbers.
Is it number 8? I had number 8, and that Lee.
I think it was number 2, wasn't it?
Was it 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then it was Holden Atkinson.
It was Atkinson, the intended receiver. And once again, I think he had to turn into a defending player because if he hadn't got that hand up and knocked that ball down, it would have been intercepted.
Now, Lee with a punt. Last time he had a 65-yard, 62. Again, it takes a bounce at the 30 as Carbon lets it bounce down inside the 18. That's where they'll down it. Oh, we've had some
dandy punts, and it's hit this old turf, and we haven't had a lot of moisture for a while, and so that turf is hard. Really took a great Hawk bounce, brings it all the way back inside the 20-yard line.
Well, teams have let it bounce, and it's really gone a long ways. We do have a score update from Salt Lake City in the second period with 13:57 to go. It's Utah State 7 and the 24th ranked Utah Utes 7. So it's all tied up there in Salt Lake. Our score is 14-0 North Sanpete. The Dinos from their own 18-yard line. Rasmussen in shotgun formation. Wants to throw it out. He does. It's caught on a screen pass to Fawcett, and Fawcett fights his way out from the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Hey, Fawcett, a tough young man, but they send Olson over to lay that initial block to spring Fawcett, and Olson just bounced off one of the Hawks.
And they do mark it to the 23-yard line. So it's going to be second down and 5 for Carbon. Fawcett's been really the bright spot. I would guess he's got most of the yardage, him and Rasmussen, in the passing plays tonight. And now double wing formation. Under center comes Rasmussen. Does send a man in motion. And on the little end around, I believe that was Olson. I have to pick up which ball carrier it was.
It is Olson.
And not much on that as this Hawk defense continues to be very, very stingy.
They have done a great job shutting down the run game. And once again, the only place that the Dinos have been able to move the ball is through the air.
So it's going to be third down and 5 for this Carbon Dino team. The ball at their own 23-yard line. 1:19 to go in the first half. Clock is running. Hawks up 14-0. Shotgun formation for Rasmussen. Looking to his left, throws down, has intended receiver and overthrown. There are 2 receivers in the same place and 3 Hawk defenders. And that will stop the clock.
It will stop the clock, and the ball just overthrown by the Dinos.
Really, that was great coverage. Thrown into triple, there were 3 defenders on 2 receivers. And North Sanpete will send Applegarth back around his own 48-yard line. And the Hawks will try almost blocked, and they kick it away from Applegarth. He's racing over. He fumbles it around the 40, falls down on it wisely at the 35-yard line. I'll tell you, that was very, very seasoned player there. Rather than try and pick it up and be upset with the yardage he lost, Applegarth says, I'm just going to fall on it.
You know, very wisely, he just fell on it. He taking a little bit of a gamble right there, trying to pick up the ball on the bounce, had it, but it slipped through his hands and came back and surely covered up the football to maintain possession for the Hawks.
And now North Sanpete from their own 35-yard line, up by 14 points. Shotgun formation for Lee. Has two receivers to the left. Looking to his left. Now he cuts upfield, and now they blow it dead.
Oh, that's a crazy time to blow the play dead. North Sanpete had a couple receivers wide open on this side of the field.
And we'll have to see what the call is. And it's going to be dead ball, false start on North Sanpete.
Oh, boy. Well, they should have never let the play go on in that situation.
And so it's going to be 1st and 15. It's moved back to the 30-yard line. And they're going to put 5 seconds back. Well, they're going to move it from 55 to 58 seconds. As the clock will not start till the snap. And because the false start it kills the play.
It kills the play. The clock should have never started before. But they were late with the flag.
Well, you and I just didn't hear it, and obviously North Sanpete ran the play. They were back in a passing formation. Lee again, passing formation. Set to pass, plants, throws down, throws over the center field. It's caught! And it's at the 45, the 40. He could go all the way. The 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown by Trent Seeley.
Little crossing pattern out here with the two receivers. And Trent Seeley ended up in the middle. He started out on the outside, and there was a little crossing pattern with those receivers. I think Trey Sorensen and Trent Seeley. And Seeley gets a 70 yards pass for a touchdown. Great play pulled out of the hat of Tom Fell.
When Seeley caught that, he was on a dead run right in the center of the field from the 50. You thought there was a possibility two Dinos might have caught him around the 35. When he got past him, he was to the races. Hawks up 20-0. 46 seconds to go. And now flags fly as Carbon obviously came off sides. Were they drawn? That's the question.
Fortunate for them, it is encroachment on the Carbon Dinos, and the PAT try was wide to the right, and luckily they're going to get a chance to attempt it again.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered if he'd made it. You'd just been frustrated because you have no choice.
No.
So now, getting set to kick it's going to be Taylor Lee here. Snap is low, but it's picked up nicely. The kick is up. Is it good?
It is.
Oh, give credit on that. Who's the holder? That was Atkinson, I believe. Number 1. It was Hadley. Hadley with a terrific job on the hold, and the Hawks lead 21-0. We'll be back.
Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant is always working hard to be your neighborhood grocer. And with items like their famous ugly steaks, how can something so ugly going on the grill taste so good coming off? And their homemade salsa and cowboy caviar are a hit anywhere they're served. And in the bakery, you'll find Terrell's own roll and scone dough that will brighten up any get-together. Plus, Terrell's prides itself on its produce department, where the finest and fresh produce at great prices can always be found. Drop in today for the best in prices and friendly service. Your neighborhood grocer, Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant.
Are you looking for comfort, quality, and reliability with your furniture, appliances, or electronics? That's exactly what you find at Beck's Home Furnishings in Mount Pleasant. Choose from a variety of Ashley furniture, Whirlpool and Maytag appliances, and quality electronics. So whether you're looking for a good night's sleep, relaxing in your favorite chair, having a pleasant family dinner, or getting the chores done, Beck's can help. Plus, Beck's has outstanding prices and special sales every week. Visit them today at 14 West Main in Mount Pleasant or online at shopbecks.com.
And the ball's picked up by the Dinos right around the 15-yard line and brought out to the 17. And that's where the Dinos will take over with 39.4 seconds to go here in the first half. And North Sanpete leading 21-0.
Hey, North Sanpete's got to feel really good about where they're at in this football game. Just less than 40 seconds on the clock, and the Dinos have not been in the red zone one time.
I'll tell you what, this North Sanpete defense, very, very impressive tonight. And the offense has put up some big numbers. Now, shotgun formation. Quick passes thrown out. Oh, that's the kind that could get intercepted. Rasmussen
very much so.
Just threw it out there.
Zach Lee was right there. He jumped the route, and the ball was wisely well overthrown by the Dinos. If not, it would have been a pick six for Zach Lee.
Well, he had Maurer out there along with Fawcett, two big guys. And the pass is going to bring up 2nd down and 10. I'm surprised Carbon just doesn't go down on it. You got to give them credit here. They're wanting to do something good here before the half, but they're deep in their own territory, around their own 18-yard line. Low snap, picked up, throws downfield, and it's going to be caught. Just when I said that, they're going to go all the way for a touchdown as it's caught by Taylor Albeda. And Albeda caught it on a dead run at the 50-yard line just when I said they should go down on it. I guess I just jinxed teams. Albeda with an incredible catch over the shoulder on a dead run. He races down the sideline. Touchdown, Carbon.
One thing that helped Albeda on that is the defender for the Hawks fell down, and then it was just him in the goal line that he had to challenge.
What a wild final couple of minutes here in Mount Pleasant.
82-yard touchdown pass right there.
And wasn't North Sanpete's a 70? How many?
70 plus.
70 plus, so two big plays here. Now, back to pass again. The pass is over and through the fingertips.
There is a penalty flag here.
Rasmussen trying to throw it out there. I would guess we're going to have pass interference. Just looking at what the official's saying over there.
Yeah, they're pointing at North Sanpete. It is pass interference against the Hawks.
And pass interference on North Sanpete. So what they do is they move that half the distance to the goal line. And
sometimes that's an advantage to the defense if they're going to pass the football. And the Dinos have tried to run the football but have been very, very tough treading out there for the Dinos.
21-6, Hawks with the lead. Dinos trying to cut into this, going for two here. In the backfield is Maurer. And they give to Maurer, and it looks like Maurer's in.
He is in.
And Maurer gets the 2-point conversion. It's 24-8, North Sanpete. If you're Carbon, you're thinking, man, we did great.
That's right.
But however, the good news for North Sanpete is there's still 24 seconds to go.
There is.
The Hawks will get the football. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the kickoff. North Sanpete leading 21-8.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured the Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
And welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. North Sanpete, just when it appeared that the Hawks were going to go in at halftime up 21-0, the Dinos come up with an 80-plus touchdown pass. And And the good news for North Sanpete is there's still 24.7 seconds to go, and they'll get the football back. And so,
you know, the Dinos love to do an onside kick right here, and I would imagine that's exactly what they're going to do, is line up, because they don't have an awful lot to lose. There's not much time on the clock. If they come up with it, boy, another big pass play, and the Dinos are right back in this football game.
Now the Hawks are not going to send anybody back. They bring everybody up. Just a reminder here, it will be a live ball, and they blew, they blew the whistle dead. The official here called it dead. You can see that. North Sanpete's taking timeout. The Hawks up 21-8 over the Carbon Dinos. We'll be back.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
And welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, as North Sanpete, I think, wisely took a timeout there. They had players not sure where they wanted them positioned.
Well, there's no reason to not use up your timeouts right here in this first half. You've got so many, you might as well use them. Make sure everything is squared away. They're going to re-kick this football here, and the Dinos, about had it before. Somebody must have came across the line too soon for North Sanpete. And so the Dinos move it up, and we'll kick it again.
And the kick is going to be taken by Applegarth at the 15. Applegarth cuts to the left, then spins and goes to the right, and brought down about the 26-yard line. Clock will stop until the snap. Now, when you're saying they moved it back 5 yards, I'm not sure what you're saying.
No, they didn't. It was on the
40.
40. They
Okay.
did kick from the 40.
Okay.
And Applegarth, boy, he showed his leaping ability right there to pull that down, or that ball could have ran all the way back to the end zone. It was a very low trajectory kick, and Applegarth made a great catch on that.
Yeah, and that's a live ball.
It is a live ball.
It's not like a punt.
No, it is a live ball, and he went up really about as high as he could jump, and pulled that down with his fingertips, and then turned it into a pretty decent run.
21-8. Hawks with the lead. 18.2 seconds to go in the first half. And North Sanpete will come out with a passing formation as they have all this game. Back to pass. Here's Lee rolling out to the right, throws downfield. It's going to be caught in Carbon territory at the 45-yard line. And that is caught by Atkinson. Whalen.
Gives them about 7.4 seconds left right here. They've got another opportunity to heave that ball downfield as Tom Fell calls timeout.
Yeah, North Sanpete takes timeout. 1st and 10 at the Carbon 45-yard line. 7.4 seconds to go in the half. We'll be back.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
So the Hawks leading 21-8. We're here in the first half in what's been really moved along fairly quickly, but now this game has slowed down a little bit. And the Hawks have a 1st and 10, but time is a factor.
You know, they've got to get the ball downfield and either get out of bounds or get into the end zone. I think they're out of timeouts.
Leading 21-8. Lee back to pass. Cuts, throws upfield, throws downfield, and it's going to be overthrown over everybody. It will stop the clock with 1.6 seconds to go, and the Hawks will get one last try, barring a penalty. No penalty. They'll get one last play, barring a penalty. So 2nd down which is a non-factor. 1.6 seconds to go. And Lee coming up. Shotgun formation. Zach looking at this defense. Has Applegarth to the left to help block. Throws down. Goes down. No, that is down. It's going to be caught for a touchdown by Applegarth. It's caught for a touchdown. The final play of the half. A 45-yard bomb to Applegarth.
Applegarth gets it in the end zone right here, and nobody thought that was going to happen, but that's what you can do with 1 second left on the clock. Is Zach Lee throws it 45 yards, and Applegarth makes a reception.
He was all alone. He just waited for that pass to come down. The Carbon defender obviously had lost sight of him. He turned to pick up the football, and then Applegarth was all alone in the end zone. Taylor Lee getting set to kick the extra point. The kick is up and...
Looks good to me.
It is good.
Taylor Lee, a great kick. That ends the first half of play here at North Sanpete High School with the Hawks leading the game 28-8 over the Carbon Dinos.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about this wild half. We'll get Doug Johnson's stats. We'll give you score updates here from Mount Pleasant. We'll be back.
You're busy, and we can help. At Skyline Pharmacy, we are pleased to introduce the first and only coordinated, once-a-month refill service in Sanpete County, the Skyline Medication Management Service. It is designed to help you maximize the positive benefits of your medication therapy, as well as save you time and money. Best of all, this service is free. By joining our program, we will automatically refill all of your maintenance medications on the same day, every month. Never worry about making multiple trips to the pharmacy ever again. Stop by today and ask about how we are continuing to help you take care of yourself and your family.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Visit your Sanpete Valley Conoco in Moroni, where you'll find courteous service at the convenience store and the world-famous Sanpete barbecue turkey sandwiches. Sanpete Valley Conoco is the place for refreshing frazzles, irresistible treats, delicious pizza, and the only place to get the new Yo Cream. Yogurt's only creamier with lots of toppings, and the new Boba Bursts, a new experience in eating ice cream. They also serve all of Central Utah with bulk fuel, oil, and lube delivery, whether in the drum or bucket. Visit Sanpete Valley Conoco at the junction of highways in Moroni.
State Farm Insurance and Financial Services is your best choice for dependable insurance coverage and finance options. Local agent Danny Dykes in Moroni offers all types of insurance, as well as State Farm Financial Services, where you're able to finance your dreams through State Farm Bank. State Farm also offers the Pocket Agent app for smartphones and the new Drive Safe and Save discount. Visit your local State Farm Insurance and Financial Services office in Moroni. Phone 800-347-8601. That's 800-347-8601.
Terry R. Brothers in Excavating and TRB Rock Products offers aggregate products for any of your road construction needs, including road base and a selection of crushed rock products. TRB Rock Products also has landscaping products, topsoil, reject sand, and an eye-catching red landscaping rock. They also do commercial and residential construction, basements, water lines, sewer lines, septic tanks, and perk tests. Get a free estimate at 462-3954. TRB Rock Products, a proud supporter of North Sanpete Athletics.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
And welcome back here halftime in Mount Pleasant, where the North Sanpete Hawks enjoying a 28-8 lead in a game that saw 3 touchdowns of over 45 yards. One was 45 yards. One was 73 yards and the other one 83 yards. Carbon with one of them, North Sanpete with two. And the Hawks lead by 20 points here at halftime, Robert.
Yeah, just an outstanding football game and big plays, exciting plays, and what a treat for the fans that are here in person, but also what a treat for you fans that are home listening to this broadcast. What a delightful game to be a part of, and we had some offense there in the last minute and a half of this football game that was just unbelievable, and what a neat thing for these young high school players to make some of the plays that they have. It has certainly been an entertaining football game.
Robert, do you have some of Doug Johnson's stats for us?
Hey, we certainly do. Let's look at first downs right here. Carbon has 3 first downs. North Sanpete Hawks have 11. Rush yards, Carbon Dinos have rushed 13 times for 0 yards, and the Hawks 15 times for 109 yards. Passing yards, the Dinos 138 yards, and the Hawks 217. Passing, the Dinos are 6 of 12, and the Hawks 7 for 14. Neither team has an interception. Plays, the Dinos have had 25 plays, total of 138 yards. North Sanpete has 29 plays for 326 yards. Average play, the Dinos 5.5 and 11.2 for the Hawks. Kick returns, the Dinos 4 for 29. North Sanpete 1 kick return for 7 yards. Punt returns, the Dinos 0, and North Sanpete 3 for 10 yards. No interceptions. There has only been 1 fumble. That was North Sanpete, and they lost the fumble. Penalties. The Dinos 3 for 24 yards. The North Sanpete Hawks 6 penalties for 36 yards. Punts. And there's been some unbelievable punts in this football game as well. Punts, Carbon has punted the ball 37 times, or 6 times for 37.5 yards, and the Hawks have punted twice for 49 yards. Possession time, the Dinos 12 minutes 50 seconds. They lead the contest in time of possession. North Sanpete has had the ball 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's look at scoring by quarters right now. North Sanpete scored in the first quarter. Zach Lee pass, a 19-yard, Zach Lee run of 19 yards. Taylor Lee rushed but fumbled on the PAT. In the second quarter, it was North Sanpete. Zach Lee, a 1-yard run. Spencer Applegarth, a pass from Lee for the 2-point conversion. Also in the second quarter, North Sanpete, Trent Seeley, a 70-yard pass from Zach Lee, and the Taylor Lee Cook kick was good. Then we have a big play of 82 yards by the Carbon Dinos. Talon Abetta, and he gets a 82-yard pass from Taylor Rasmussen, and Dallin Maurer rushed for the 2-point conversion. Then coming back with very little time on the clock, North Sanpete, Spencer Applegarth, a 45-yard pass from Zach Lee, and Taylor Lee's kick was good. Let's look at the rushing yards for both of these teams. Maurer has rushed twice for 3 yards. Chatterton 4 times for only 1 yard. Rasmussen 1 rush for 2 yards, and Olson 6 for 6 yards. So North Sanpete has really dominated defensively against the run game. Looking at the rushing for the Hawks, Zach Lee, 5 rushes for 47 yards. That is your quarterback. 7 rushes for Spencer Applegarth, 28 yards, and Glasgow 2 rushes for 26 yards, and Polson has 1 rush for 8 yards. Receiving, Abetta, 2 pass receptions for 105 yards. Chatterton 2 passes for 10 yards. Olson 1 pass for 18, and Fawcett 1 for 5 yards. Looking at the receiving for the Hawks, Applegarth 4 for 77 yards, and this is your running back. He's having a great night catching the football. Seeley 1 for 70 yards. Trey Sorensen 1 for 42 yards. and Atkinson 1 for 28 yards. So North Sanpete dominating the stat category right here, but boy, the Dinos showed that they have a quick hit offense with Abeda for an 82-yard pass play to get them on the scoreboard.
Well, our halftime score here in Mount Pleasant, it's the Hawks for North Sanpete 28, the Carbon Dinos from Price 8. We'll come back. We'll give you scores and updates here from Mount Pleasant. We'll take a break.
The mayor, city council, and residents in the cities of Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni wish the North Sanpete Hawks the best of luck this season. The entire community is proud to support North Sanpete High School in preparing the future leaders of Sanpete County. They're committed to ensuring that area youth are provided the best opportunities to learn the important lessons of life through academics and athletic competition. Good luck to the players, coaches, faculty, staff, and student body from the cities of Fairview, Moroni, and Mount Pleasant.
MKJ Construction has been serving central Utah and the surrounding area for over 30 years. Whether you have a project as large as a new road or water line or as intricate as a decorative landscape feature, we have the experience and equipment to complete any size project. We also deliver sand, gravel, road base, topsoil, and landscaping boulders. Call MKJ Construction at 427-9299, 427-9299, and see what we can do for you.
When you're looking for the most exceptional value in an ATV side-by-side, look no further than your local Kimco dealer, Skyline Motorsports. John Lee and his crew at Skyline Motorsports know the area and the people living here and want to remain friends long after the deal is done. Plus, you don't want to spend another winter shoveling snow, do you? All Kimco side-by-sides can be fit with a snowplow. And Skyline Motorsports is your headquarters for small engine repair, ATVs, chainsaws, snowblowers, lawnmowers. Hey, if it's got a small engine, LeVar can fix it. Check it all out at Skyline Motorsports, south of Fairview on Highway 89.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with a touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. CentraCom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant is always working hard to be your neighborhood grocer. And with items like their famous ugly steaks, I mean, how can something so ugly going on the grill taste so good coming off? And their homemade salsa and cowboy caviar are a hit anywhere they're served. And in the bakery, you'll find Terrell's own roll and scone dough that will brighten up any get-together. Plus, Terrell's prides itself on its produce department, where the finest and fresh produce at great prices can always be found. Drop in today for the best in prices and friendly service. Your neighborhood grocer, Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant.
All right, welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. Our score here at halftime, North Sanpete 28, Carbon 8. Some other scores of interest to pass on. The two-time defending 3A champs, the Judge Memorial Bulldogs, moved into 3AA. They trail Logan 19-0. Ben Lowman, who's only won 3 games in 5 years, beat Richfield and Carbon earlier this year, trying to make it 3 in a row. Their third win, they did lose last week as they lead Park City 20-7. It's Tooele leading Salisbury at halftime 13-3. Other scores of interest to our listeners in this area, I have interest in them. I hope that some of you
We certainly hope a lot of the other listeners do as well.
I always like to hear scores. Diamond Ranch did beat Layton Christian today, 50-14. Rich beat Monticello 24-0. Union is leading, they were leading Richfield 40-18 with just a minute and a half to go. Beavers leading North Summit 14-7 at halftime. And it was halftime Cedar over Juab 21-14. Morgan leading Delta 35-0 at halftime. Manti was leading Emory 22-7 at halftime. Enterprise and Millard tied at 6 at halftime. That game being played in Millard. And we do have Duchesne leading Kanab 7-0 at the end of the third quarter. Milford leading Altamont 21-12. Murray leading Juan Diego 7-0. And at halftime, I know this interests to you, Robert, it's American Leadership leading North Severe 20-0.
Well, yeah, North Severe had a rough outing at Milford last week, and it sounds like it's continuing.
South Summit leading South Severe 47-0. Of course, South Summit is ranked number 1 in 2A football. And Hillcrest leading Timpanogos, North Sanpete's opponent a few weeks ago, 22-3. Robert, thoughts on this game?
You know, it has been the ability of North Sanpete to move the football. They've had a very nice blend of pass and run. One thing that we talked about in the pregame show, they have got the one turnover, and that is the only turnover in this football game. But the execution on both offense and defense certainly weighs heavy on the North Sanpete side, as they have been very, very stingy. The Dinos right now have basically 0 yards rushing the football. They've got 130-some yards through the air, 138 to be exact, and no touchdowns running the football. They do have one long 82-yard pass play, Abeda, that made a great catch, but the North Sanpete defender fell down on that play, and then Abeda just outrun everyone to the end zone. But the passing yards as well for the Hawks, 326 yards passing in the first half. They have done an excellent job moving the football, and that is why North Sanpete's leading this football game at halftime.
We do have a college score to pass on to you. Of course, the University of Utah ranked 24th in the nation, hosting the Utah State Aggies. It was tied at 7, but Utah has put a score on. They now lead the Aggies 14-7 with 1:45 to go in the first half there in Salt Lake City. We're going to take a final break. We'll come back with the start of the second half with the Hawks of North Sanpete leading the Carbon Dinos 28-8.
Are you looking for comfort, quality, and reliability with your furniture, appliances, or electronics? That's exactly what you find at Beck's Home Furnishings in Mount Pleasant. Choose from a variety of Ashley furniture, Whirlpool and Maytag appliances, and quality electronics. So whether you're looking for a good night's sleep, relaxing in your favorite chair, having a pleasant family dinner, or getting the chores done, Beck's can help. Plus, Beck's has outstanding prices and special sales every week. Visit them today at 14 West Main in Mount Pleasant or online at shopbecks.com.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones & DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesandemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones & DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson, along with Barrett Hilton, our producer, welcome you back here to Mount Pleasant, where the Hawks enjoy a 28-8 lead. We have Doug Johnson doing our stats, and of course, the North Sanpete Broadcasting Club doing our filming, as this game is a simulcast on CentraCom Channel 10. Also, we want to thank KLGL and their commitment to Hawk football on 94.5 FM. Doug Barton and just highly committed to high school sports in Central Utah with the stations he owns, and we thank him for that commitment. Of course, it allows Robert and I to come and work, and we thank him.
It certainly does, and we appreciate that opportunity.
Carbon will kick off to the Hawks here as we start the second half. Are we going to continue with the touchdowns we saw? The final minute, we saw 3 touchdowns in the first half. They're long, and now an onside kick, and it only goes 6 yards, and the Dino kickers fall on it. And the ruling will be is North Sanpete can take it where they fell on it. Logan Olson is who fell on it.
You know, and just a little antsy, maybe he thought with it traveling 5 yards, that was free game. But it's got to go 10 yards.
It's a live ball, so if he doesn't fall on it, North Sanpete can pick it up and run. So he wisely saw that it wasn't going to go any further and fell on it. That was actually a good play.
It was, and if not, North Sanpete would have had a lot of good opportunities.
So now Lee comes underneath center for the first time. Well, one of the few times he takes it, and it's given to Applegarth. He's got room from midfield. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Applegarth on an electrifying 46-yard run.
First play from scrimmage in the second half. Applegarth runs a little slant and gets all the way to the end zone. Very nice execution with the line of scrimmage, the blocking up front by that offensive line, and Applegarth breezed into the end zone.
The difference is that time Lee didn't go back in the shotgun. I think he caught Carbon off a little slow being ready for it. 34-8 is our score. That score update brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, who brings us the postgame show. Snap is down, the kick is up, it looks good by Atkinson.
And it is good, so the Hawks tack on another 7 points to lead 35-8.
And that's Taylor Lee who kicked that. Give credit there. And we'll take a break. We'll come back with the kickoff here with the Hawks leading 35-8.
You're busy, and we can help. At Skyline Pharmacy, we are pleased to introduce the first and only coordinated, once-a-month refill service in Sanpete County, the Skyline Medication Management Service. It is designed to help you maximize the positive benefits of your medication therapy, as well as save you time and money. Best of all, this service is free. By joining our program, we will automatically refill all of your maintenance medications on the same day, every month. Never worry about making multiple trips to the pharmacy ever again. Stop by today and ask about how we are continuing to help you take care of yourself and your family.
And now North Sanpete getting set to kick off here. And that's Taylor Lee for the Hawks. And for Carbon, they'll send deep Nathan Olson. And I believe that's Chatterton, the deep one on the other side. And Nathan Olson's going to take it right at the goal line. And he's out to the 5, the 10, veers to the right, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, crosses midfield and brought down in Hawk territory.
Boy, Olson, a great return right there. He was tackled by Taylor Lee. You know, the kicker saved their bacon right there for the Hawks, but a great return. It was set up to return left, and the ball went all the way to the goal line, and all of the teammates of Olson went left, and Olson came by himself right, and it surprised everybody.
I believe Olson stepped on the goal line, which is legal as long as the ball does not cross the goal line. It's where the ball is and not where his foot is. In high school football, that ball crossed the goal line, it's blown dead immediately.
You know, it didn't. It was out in front of him, so a tremendous return by Olson.
And now it's taken by Rasmussen. The hands off, and again stacked at the line of scrimmage. And again, at halftime, there were no yards, and the ball carrier was Chatterton.
Chatterton, no yards on that play from scrimmage either, as the Hawks came up and stuffed it right at the line of scrimmage.
Carbon does have over 100 yards, but it's all in the air. They were 0 total yards on the ground in the first half. And again, it's going to be second down and 10. Robert and I are looking right straight down the line of scrimmage as it's at the Hawk 48-yard line. And Taylor Rasmussen under center. I formation. The give is to the second back on a dive play, and that was Fawcett. And Fawcett's going to be brought down again right at the line of scrimmage.
Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. And Fawcett, what is he, about 6'6" and 230 pounds?
Yeah, they list him 6'7".
He's a big boy.
And it's going to be third down and 10. Hawks enjoying a 35-8 lead. And that score update's brought to you by Skyline Pharmacy and Ecolife, supporters of North Sanpete football. And now Taylor Rasmussen goes in shotgun formation, and a flag comes from the umpire. And I would guess one of the Dinos moved.
It is a false start against the Dinos, and that'll march them back 5 yards.
Spoiler alert warning for Utah State.
So it's
Cover your ears.
be a third down and 15.
14, Utah State 14. 24 seconds left in the first half.
And we do have an score update. Utah State has come back to tie the Utes. It's 14-14 in Salt Lake City. So third down and 15.
14-14.
And shotgun formation for the Dinos. The ball at the 47-yard line of Carbon. And long count here, and now they're resetting the clock.
Resetting the clock.
Now they wind the clock. And the Dinos will send Chatterton in motion. And again, a flag from the umpire. And again, I think it's going to be a false start on Carbon.
It certainly is, and it's going to be third and 20.
Another false start against the Dinos moves it back another 5 yards.
So third down and 20. The Dinos were 0 yards on the ground in the first half, and they've lost 10 yards on this possession, their initial possession. They did have over 100 yards passing. Rasmussen sends Chatterton in motion. Back to pass, being pressured, gets it off, and he's hit right as he lets it go. Thrown out of bounds, but he threw it to save his life. Rasmussen was decked.
Defensively for the Hawks was number 52, Isaac Peterson.
And it's going to be fourth down at 20.
Isaac Peterson there putting the hurt on Rasmussen, the Dino quarterback, and he got punished a little bit by Isaac Peterson, and that was why he couldn't get anything on that pass.
And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Jones & Nabil Engineering, also Sanpete Valley Hospital. Hawks up, 35-8. Snap is down. The kick is up, and it looked like it's going to get blocked. And it was partially blocked, but the touch is ignored if it's in the backfield. And so it does get down to the 41-yard line. That's where the Hawks will take over.
Hawks, great field position for this offensive possession right here. This could lead to more Hawk points.
And you do run into a mercy rule if you get a 35-point lead. There is timeout on the field, so we'll take timeout. North Sanpete leading 35-8.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
All right, welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, where North Sanpete's enjoying a 35-8 lead. And that score update brought to you in part by Beck's Home Furnishings and also Terrell's Marketplace. First and 10 for the Hawks from their own 40-yard line. And Gibb is going to come around. I believe Applegarth, he's across midfield. He could go. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. And touchdown.
Well, what a burst right there as he got into the open field. Applegarth really had a burst of speed, got out in front of everyone, and just coasted into the end zone.
Well, he just had a 45-yard touchdown run, and on the second play from scrimmage for North Sanpete, and is there a flag? I didn't see a flag. He raced 59
59
yards.
They call it. What? I didn't see any flags.
Well, there must have been a penalty. And here comes the referee to give us a call. Holding. On North Sanpete. Nonetheless, Applegarth with a run there of 45 and now 59 back-to-back plays for North Sanpete. However, they'll have to redo this one again, as sometimes a hold does help aid a run.
You know, he really just burst into the open right there.
Well, they
as
faked
he was
me
in
out
the
who
middle.
had it, Robert.
It was a great thing, but you know they still had enough yards for a first down, so they should move the chains right here.
Well, they will move the chains. They have not moved the chains yet. They're still waiting for the chains to move. It's 1st and 10. The chains have got to move.
There they go. Hey, you know, here we go.
Okay.
Run was still good for North Sanpete. First down.
It's a spot foul for when the hold took place. And you and I did not, at least I didn't see it.
I didn't see the, you know, I would have thought if it was a hold, it would have been back about 15 yards from there.
Now the pitch goes back to Applegarth. He's across midfield. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, and down to the 20-yard line. Applegarth continues to put cleat marks all over this Carbon defense in the second half.
All he needed was one block, and it would have been a touchdown once again, but couldn't get that block on the safety to spring him into the end zone. Nice run.
Applegarth running at will here in the second half. His shortest run has been about 30 yards, and he's carried it 3 times. He scored 2 of those 3 times. However, one was aided by a penalty, so they did bring it back, but the Hawks, very impressive here in the second half, already up 35-8. 8:48 to go here in the third quarter. Applegarth to the right. Lee under center. Back to pass, throws down. It's going to be caught. And that's Sorensen. Trey goes in for a touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown pass.
A nice effort time by Zach Lee and Trey Sorensen, the 2 seniors, hooking up for the touchdown. And, you know, really they're going to have an opportunity now to move this out to a 42-8 score.
North Sanpete has run 4 plays here in the second half. The shortest play they've had is 20 yards. One of them called back because of a holding, but the Hawks have just manhandled Carbon here in the third quarter. It's now 41-8. And Carbon really played a tough first half. North Sanpete had to work for the points in the first half, but here in the second half, the Hawks have just done what they've wanted to. They extend the lead 42-8, 8:31 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back.
Visit your Sanpete Valley Conoco in Moroni, where you'll find courteous service at the convenience store and the world-famous Sanpete barbecue turkey sandwiches. Sanpete Valley Conoco is the place for refreshing frazzles, irresistible treats, delicious pizza, and the only place to get the new Yo Cream. Yogurts, only creamier with lots of toppings, and the new Boba Bursts, a new experience in eating ice cream. They also serve all of Central Utah with bulk fuel, oil, and lube delivery, whether in the drum or bucket. Visit Sanpete Valley Conoco at the junction of highways in Moroni.
And welcome back here to North Sanpete High School, where North Sanpete was impressive in the first half as they led 28-8. But here in the second half, the Hawks have really put on a show here, and they have shown that they saw something at halftime, Robert.
You know, they really have made some adjustments. They came right out. They saw something that they could really run the football with Applegarth, and then they give them a dose of Applegarth, and then they come back with Zach Lee hitting Trey Sorensen for a touchdown. This has been an exciting start to this third quarter of football.
now the kick is going to be taken again by Olson. And last time he returned it up over 45 yards, well, 50 yards plus. This time he has a nice return from the 20 out to the 30-yard line. And that's where Carbon's going to take over. Just a reminder, we will be picking a Sanpete Valley Conoco defensive player of the game, also a Cavalier Pizza offensive player of the game. And Cavalier Pizza just east of Terrell's Marketplace. They're open through Saturday, Monday through Saturday till 10 p.m. And tonight's game brought to you in part by Terrell's Marketplace. And now the Dinos will come under center. Taylor Rasmussen does a nice pitch back in the backfield, and I believe that was Maurer. We'll have to pick up. Maurer fights his way here. And at halftime, the Dinos had 0 yards rushing, and they continue to have now have negative yards rushing as they lose a couple yards there, Robert.
They lose a couple of yards right there, and I think it was Trey Sorensen on the stop for the Hawks right there. Sorensen getting into the backfield and stopping once again that rushing of the Dinos. North Sanpete has been tremendous in stopping the run in this football game.
I'll tell you, the Dinos have done some good things. They've looked very promising in the passing game. It's been the running game that's just struggled all night. They send a man in motion in shotgun formation. Back to pass is Rasmussen. And it's going to be incomplete.
Goes right through the intended receiver's hands and out of bounds. And, we're in a mercy situation here in this football game, so we might get out of here before midnight.
Well,
tonight.
It's not quite in a mercy situation. You got to be 35 points.
We're close.
And you're saying you can smell the mercy rule.
Yes,
I can tell.
Yes, we can.
Robert, I'll tell you what. You hear that laugh? I'll tell you what. I'm looking at our producer, Brett, next to me, and he's doing a great job. It's a lot of fun working with him and his staff. Now the Dinos looking at 3rd down and 12. Rasmussen under center. Sends a man in motion. And the give is to that man in motion, and he's brought down for a loss. I believe it was not Nathan Olson.
Olson stopped once again with a loss, and the Hawks really doing a great job against that run.
So for the total game now, Carbon will be in a negative 5 yards. And you can kind of tell this Carbon team really has lost a little of the fight. Tell you what, they had a bounce in their step. They had scored a touchdown. They had cut the lead to 21-8. And now the snap goes high, brought down nicely there by Logan Olson. And he gets a great kick away. Olson could have had that ball go back in the end zone. Instead, he gets the kick away, and it goes into Hawk territory. A nice kick by Logan Olson of Carbon.
Well, he really showed some athleticism in just catching that ball, and then he had to run to his left, avoid getting tackled back there. Got a low kick away, but boy, it took a great Carbon bounce to give North Sanpete about 46, 47 yards to go here to score again.
Well, the ball's at their own 43-yard line. Hawks come under center. Zach Lee. And the pitch is going to go in the backfield. I believe it's, again, Applegarth. And Applegarth is tackled for a 4-yard gain. It's pretty bad when you're thinking a 4-yard gain's not a real big gain.
Applegarth is up over 123 yards. He's close to 130 yards rushing, and a big part of that's been here in the second half.
There's a holding call. Did not see that. And that will be a spot foul from where the hold took place. And it was right around the end of the run. So they move it back 10 yards.
Moves the ball back to the 37-yard line of the Hawks.
So North Sanpete, honestly, penalties have not been a factor to North Sanpete in this half. They had a real big one, and then Applegarth raced down erased that with one big run.
You know, right now penalties, North Sanpete 7 for a net of 46 yards in penalties.
Well, we're going to call it second down, and we'll call it 15 yards as the ball's maybe 16 yards. The ball's at the 37-yard line. Hand off is to Applegard, veers off the right side, trying to get wide. He breaks a tackle. He's got the first down. He explodes. He's into Carbon territory. The 45, the 40, and out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Once again, a nice burst by Applegarth, giving North Sanpete a first down. And, you know, his yards are rolling forward right here as he is running the football.
When he explodes, he's at a different level. He just blasts through. He broke that tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Just a great quick burst. Once he gets into the open field, he has an extra gear, and he really can move.
I formation, under center is Zach Lee. And it's going to be a dive play. Applegarth up the middle. He veers off the right. He's got the first down. He's across the 30 to 25 and brought down. I don't think I saw a fumble. I just think there's a host of tacklers.
No, a lot of tacklers there. And Applegarth going straight up the middle, slightly to his left, and then bounce it back hard to the right. Really a quick change of directions there by Applegarth for another North Sanpete first down.
At the 22-yard line. And so, honestly, the way this game is going, it probably would be a beneficial factor to move it into a mercy rule because North Sanpete just having their way here.
Applegarth, 167 yards on the ground right now.
And the pitch back to Applegarth again. Veers off the left, cuts to the right. They're not going to touch him. He's going to go in from the 12-yard line, almost untouched. He's ran wide, could see an open to the inside of the field. And now I'm looking at Robert, and he's smiling at me.
Really a fun run and a great read by Applegarth as he was headed left all the way. And, you know, there's a little over pursuit to that side by the Dinos, and then he bounced it right back to the middle and went untouched into the end zone.
Now, Taylor Lee getting set to kick this for North Sanpete, 48-8. Hawks up by 40 points. No mystery, well in hand in this game. And the kick is up, and it is good. 49-8 in favor of the North Sanpete Hawks. 5:27 to go in the third quarter. But this game will scoot along at this point as we will move into a mercy rule. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
State Farm Insurance and Financial Services is your best choice for dependable insurance coverage and finance options. Local agent Danny Dykes in Moroni offers all types of insurance, as well as State Farm Financial Services, where you're able to finance your dreams through State Farm Bank. State Farm also offers the Pocket Agent app for smartphones and the new Drive Safe and Save discount. Visit your local State Farm Insurance and Financial Services office in Moroni. Phone 800-347-8601. That's 800-347-8601.
Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson, welcome you back here to Mount Pleasant, where North Sanpete, very, very impressive tonight. And honestly, they've been impressive all season. They came in with a 1-2 record, but they have played a very tough schedule. Maple Mountain last week, 4A school. And they have beaten Timpanogos, a 4A school, and they lost a close one to Stansbury. And tonight, really putting on Carbon. The Dinos will take it around the 5, out to the 10, the 15, and it's brought down is Chatterton, short of the 20-yard line.
68, Raymond on the stop for the Hawks. Got in there and makes a great tackle. And, you know, the clock's going to run here. Applegarth just shy of 200 yards rushing on the night. 14 rushes for 190 yards.
And now Carbon will take over at their own 18-yard line, trailing North Sanpete 49-8.
You know, Applegarth having a tremendous ball game right here. All-purpose yards. You know, he's got about 270 all-purpose yards.
Oh, he's looked impressive tonight. And that's with an injured hand, you said, in the pregame.
You know, they were, instead of pulling his leg the other night, they were pulling on his thumb.
Shotgun formation. I'll tell you what, Rasmussen's had some good passes tonight. He does get it out, caught by Fawcett, and Fawcett has really been the workhorse for this Carbon Dino team.
You know, Fawcett is really a load defensively for the Hawks, and you know, they've used him a lot of different ways. They've lined him up tight, they've split him out wide, and you know, 6'7" and about 230 plus pounds. He ought to have the ball every other time.
Well, I'm like you. I would feed Fawcett. When he's had the football, good things have happened for this Carbon team.
Just open the faucet.
Just open the faucet. Fawcett, big tight end for this Dino team. Double wing formation. And now pitch is in the backfield. I believe that was Nathan Olson. And Olson's going to be brought down for a loss. Again, if you just joined us, at halftime, Carbon had 0 rushing yards. They have lost 5 yards on the ground so far in the second half, and now they just lost another yard. They'd had well over 100 yards passing, and all their yardage has come in the air. And there's 3:40, 3:39 to go. The Hawks up 49-8. And that score update brought to you by CentraCom Channel 10. Hope you're enjoying it live tonight. Brett Hilton, our production manager tonight. Now, shotgun formation, throw downfield, and it's going to be incomplete.
That broke up by Hadley on the far side, coming in and getting a hand on that football and knocking it away. Just a nice play by Jake Hadley.
Yeah, Talon Albeda wanted a pass interference, but I'm like you. I thought it was a nice defensive play. Timing was really good on that.
It was, and you know, Hadley was the first man to touch the football. It's a little bit hard to call pass interference there when he's the first man to the ball.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Cache Valley Bank and Skyline Motorsports, supporting the Hawks. Now this fair catch is dropped. The ball's on the ground. I think it's going to be recovered by North Sanpete.
I believe you're right there, as they signaled for a fair catch, and it went right through the receiver's hands, and then he jumped back on it. I think that was Applegarth.
I think I'm going to give credit to this Mason Burgess, who was there, number 47. If that's true, he's a freshman. And so I'm going to give a little credit. I know Applegarth's had a great game.
He's had a great game.
Burgess fell on that. I'm giving him credit.
You know, they probably will see who the official scorer here gets.
Oh, look at that. Robert's questioning me there. That's good.
I'd like to see Applegarth get his 200 yards rushing, but he's probably going to stand on the sidelines and be a cheerleader the most of the way through this football game now.
Now, we have, I believe, a new quarterback. I'll have to pick that. We do. And the handoff in the backfield it was Spencer Stedman. And it was the handoff. We'll pick up who else was in the backfield. They did a quick change on me. And that ball carrier.
Number 8.
Yeah, that's going to be Waylon Atkinson.
Waylon Atkinson. He is a junior that carries the ball for basically 5 yards there. And I think we're going to see the second unit the rest of the way for the Hawks.
Stedman is a sophomore, backup quarterback here, and an I formation for North Sanpete. Second down and 5 from the midfield, and the handoff is to the right side, and the Hawks do make it down to the 45. Well, 46. We'll have to see where they spot it. So the ball's at the 46-yard line. The Hawks have to get to the 44, so third down, a long 2 yards to go for North Sanpete.
Matt Ricks on the carry for the Hawks. He is a junior.
How'd you do that, Adam?
Steedman hands off in the backfield, and Carbon with a nice defensive play there. And I believe, we'll have to see, was it Atkinson again was the ball carrier. And it's going to be fourth down and about 4 yards to go. About a 1 yard loss here.
It was almost a loss of possession right there for the Hawks as the ball was being fumbled, but they did maintain possession of the football. They're going to punt it away.
And Zach Lee will show a punting situation, but they're going to let the clock run out. That's going to be the end of the third quarter here in Mount Pleasant, where North Sanpete leads Carbon 49-8. We'll come back with the fourth quarter.
Terry R. Brothers in Excavating and TRB Rock Products offers aggregate products for any of your road construction needs, including road base and a selection of crushed rock products. TRB Rock Products also has landscaping products, topsoil, reject sand, and an eye-catching red landscaping rock. They also do commercial and residential construction, basements, water lines, sewer lines, septic tanks, and perk tests. Get a free estimate at 462-3954. TRB Rock Products, a proud supporter of North Sanpete Athletics.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson here at Mount Pleasant, where North Sanpete enjoying a nice lead over Carbon of 49-8. We are in the Mercy Rule, and next week North Sanpete will travel to Delta to take on one of their longtime rivals, the Delta Rabbits, and that game will be broadcast on CamGR 102.7 FM. Tonight we're on KLGL, and so the Hawks, after they play Delta, they play Manti. So region play starts next week. All this is just preseason. Carbon is a league member, as we explained earlier. In all other sports, it's the only sport Carbon is not a league member.
North Sanpete gets a delay of game penalty right here to start the fourth quarter. So they move it back 5 yards. It's going to be fourth and about 8.
And the Dinos will send deep. Who is that deep? It looks like Chatterton.
Another penalty right here.
And it's going to be a false start on North Sanpete. The Hawks have, understandably, a lot of reserve players in the game.
Ball goes against the Hawks. False start. 5 yards farther back.
And Carbon will have Chatterton standing right around his own 21-yard line. And the Hawks will have their kicker, Zach Lee, standing around his own 30-yard line. The kick is up, and it's kicked away from Chatterton. Bounces the 30, down to the 20, at the 15, and picked up by Chatterton, and immediately he's drilled, and he won't gain any yardage. He'll be hit right where he picked up the football and dropped. You want to stay with us for our post game?
Taylor Lee and Trent Seeley right here really put a hit on Chatterton. He's very slow to get up.
Our post-game Sunrise Engineering post-game show. The current, they give us our post-game stats. They're courtesy of Sunrise Engineering. They serve offices in Fillmore, Richfield, Cedar City, and Washington. Want to thank them for sponsoring the post-game show.
13, ball is at the 13-yard line for the Dinos.
First and 10 for Carbon at the 13-yard line. And Carbon taking over on downs here. And Robert, what do you see?
I see a victory for the North Sanpete Hawks, and going to Delta. It's certainly not the Delta team that we remember. Nice pass reception here by the Dinos as they are just shy. Albeida once again. Albeida's had some nice plays, and they're going to be just short a gain of 8 by Albeida on this. And you know, this team can throw the football a little bit, and they've got some talent out there. I see some very positive things happening for the Dinos.
Do you have an updated rushing stat? I had them unofficially negative 6 yards.
Rushes, I've got a negative 8 yards.
Negative 8 for the game. That shows you how tough this front line of North Sanpete has played tonight. That's really the difference in this game.
It's
lopsided, but Carbon's inability to keep their offense on the field, only with a few long passes. Now, back to pass, quick pass, it could be intercepted. Oh, it was close to being intercepted out there by Trey Sorensen.
Trey Sorensen, he was thinking pick six all the way as he had to go up once again, full extension. Trey, a nice athlete, a very fine basketball player for North Sanpete, just couldn't quite control that football, but I think he had his eyes on the goal line.
And there is a chop block that's called on Carbon, so Carbon will lose some yardage. They'll get to replay the down. A chop block's one lineman hits a guy high and another one low, which means you're hit by two players. And that's a safety issue. And now the Dinos with the ball at the 11-yard line. It's going to be second down and 12. For the Dinos, the bad thing is they lost yardage. The good thing, they do get to replay the down. Staying his own 5-yard line is Rasmussen. Throws downfield, intended for a receiver. And I'm looking there. That could have easily been called an interference play there.
Peyton Fawcett, the intended receiver out there, and by far the biggest player on the field for either team right now, but they couldn't get hooked up.
North Sanpete with defense out there on Carbon, and it's going to be third down and 12 for the Dinos. And clock is running on the incomplete pass. 9:24 to go in our ball game. And this game is score update is North Sanpete 49, Carbon 8. That score update brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Also Skyline Motorsports. And now under center this time is Rasmussen. And rolling out to the right, has a nice play. It's caught out there on a dead run is Maurer, and Maurer cuts upfield, easily picks up the first down. He's out to the 35 and maybe the 40-yard line, depending on the spot.
Just a nice little pass right there as they go play action all the way. All of the action is coming to the left, and he slips out to the right, just a little 5-yard pass, but boy, he tacked on about 25 after the catch.
What do you have for Carbon's passing yardage, Robert?
Carbon's passing yards right now, they have 172 yards. Let me see.
Now, low snap. Rasmussen will come back to that. A quick flare-out pass again is Maurer, and Maurer cuts upfield. Again, Carbon with -8 rushing yards for this whole game. So they have lost 8 yards rushing, but passing, they have done a lot of good things. Where are they at?
You know, they're about 150 yards passing right here.
The Dinos on a move here. Going to have second down and 6. The ball at their own 42-yard line. And this score update, 49-8 in favor of North Sanpete, brought to you by MKJ Construction, also Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni cities. Now, on the end around, it's given in the backfield, and I believe to pick up that number.
Got a little glare off the windows in this booth right here. It makes it hard for an old feller to see.
And maybe that was Olson again.
But
Logan Olson.
Logan Olson didn't gain a yard, if anything. Is there a flag? There is a flag on the turf out there.
Boy, if you're North Sanpete, you just want to make sure you have no problems, nobody ejected. You want to be smart going into region. Same thing for Carbon. Personal foul, face mask on North Sanpete. You know, Carbon, really this loss means nothing to Carbon like it does to North Sanpete to win, because region play has not started yet, and it all starts next week.
And North Sanpete really gaining a lot of momentum going into that first league contest with the Delta Rabbits. And as I mentioned, it's not the Delta Rabbit team that we remember. And, you know, they are struggling, a little short-handed with their players this year. And, you know, unless something drastically goes wrong, North Sanpete should get a league victory next week.
Now, the penalty moves the football into Sanpete territory, the 45. This is about as good as field position as Carbon has had. Now, quick pass out. It's going to be caught by Albeda. And then he's hit immediately, maybe lost 1 yard. A nice pass play, but the second he caught it, he was drilled.
Boy,
look at it. You can count 7, 8 jerseys out there.
North Sanpete has really closed quick, and that is a play for about a 2-yard loss again by the Dinos.
Honestly, didn't get a real great spot on that. I mean, the officials have done a nice job, but I thought maybe caught it closer to the 46.
They lost a couple yards on that little pass play right there. It knocks them down to 181 yards passing compared to 237 for the Hawks.
Single setback this time. They send Olsen in motion, and the give is to dive play to Maurer. Maurer cuts off the left guard and fights his way down across the 45, well short of the first down around the 44-yard line.
Just a little crossbuck pattern right there in the backfield as they fake the ball to the right, come back to the left, and they did find some positive yards on that play. Personal foul, so erase that gain by the Dinos.
And now we'll mark, I believe it was a dead ball foul. I have to see, no, he didn't signal dead ball, just a personal foul. And they'll repeat second down. If it had been a dead ball foul, they wouldn't have been able to repeat second down. So now the football is moved to the 42-yard line. And so, Robert, I'm going to give it to you here for a second.
Okay, we'll take over right here as the Carbon Dinos have second and about 23, 24 yards to go here on second down. They have two receivers spread to the right, 2 men in the backfield as Olsen goes in motion. Rasmussen comes back, and he is really retreating on this pass, throws it into the turf. He got outside the tackle zone, so there was not an intentional grounding as he threw the ball into the ground.
And so on that, Robert, he'll go back to the original line of scrimmage, which is the 42-yard line.
It'll bring up 3rd and 24. So
well, actually be 4th down here.
It is 4th down.
Boy, and the personal foul when the Dinos were on the move,
really
it
hurt him. It did.
So Logan Olsen will kick for the Dinos.
The people here in the booth are laughing a little bit. They threw an incomplete pass and still lost a yard. Oh.
And now Olsen's kick is shanked off his foot, and they're going to pick up maybe 2 yards, 3 yards. They're going to move it out to the 45-yard line. So it goes from the 41 out to the 45-yard line on the shank kick. And 5:51 to go in the football game here in Mount Pleasant. And the score update brought to you by Central Valley Medical Center. I want to thank Central Valley for sponsoring this game tonight. Also, Terry Brotherson Excavating. And our score is North Sanpete 49, Carbon 8. And let's do a State Farm Danny Dykes and Sanpete Valley Conoco time check. 5:51 to go in the ball game. And the Hawks with the football. Join us for our Sunrise Engineering postgame show where we do have some awards to give away, and I better get those over to Robert.
Boy, we can take care of that.
And now the pitch is in the backfield, and that's taken by Atkinson. And Atkinson could score. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and Atkinson scores a touchdown for North Sanpete. That pitch was by Spencer Stedman. And the Hawks extend their lead here to 55-8.
Spencer Stedman, just a sophomore quarterback right there, and it's not like they're really trying to run the score up. Sometimes those things just happen.
Honestly, the second half has been all North Sanpete. Carbon did not have the same attitude. This Carbon team really, I thought, played hard and well in the first half.
I was impressed with them. I still like their throwing schemes. I think they're going to be a much better football team than they have been in the past.
And the extra point try is blocked. And our score 55-8 in favor of North Sanpete. And the Dinos will receive the football when we come back.
The mayor, city council, and residents in the cities of Mount Pleasant, Fairview, and Moroni wish the North Sanpete Hawks the best of luck this season. The entire community is proud to support North Sanpete High School in preparing the future leaders of Sanpete County. They're committed to ensuring that area youth are provided the best opportunities to learn the important lessons of life through academics and athletic competition. Good luck to the players, coaches, faculty, staff, and student body from the cities of Fairview, Moroni, and Mount Pleasant.
Okay, welcome back. You're Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson in Mount Pleasant, where North Sanpete has this game well on hand, and they will move to 2-2 on this young season. And North Sanpete, very, very impressive here tonight.
Really energized in this second half. They played well in the first half, but the energy was so much greater in the second half than it was in the first half. They just could not be denied.
Well, Applegarth has just run at will here in the second half. It's Utah 21, Utah State 14 in Salt Lake City. An update, 6:35 to go in the third quarter in that game. Now this is going to be taken by one of the upbacks from Carbon. I have to pick that up, and he's got room. He could go. He's at the 45, the 40, the 50, and brought out of bounds, and that was Austin Woodhouse from Carbon.
A great run by Woodhouse right there as he got along the far sideline, and then with the last Sanpete Hawk there, he drives him out of bounds just across the 50-yard line.
So now the Dinos will start at the Hawk 48-yard line, 1st and 10. And we're all saying, mercy, let that clock run.
Let her run. One thing positive here is return yards for the Dinos, 155 return yards. North Sanpete only had 7, but they didn't have many return opportunities.
And now Rasmussen will come under center. Sends a man in motion. Quick screen pass is fake, but a handoff up the middle. And I believe that was Maurer. They faked the screen pass and then gave it a dive play. Well conceived, but the Hawks continue to cause yardage. I believe Carbon's now negative 9 yards, maybe 10, depending on how much loss they give here.
They only give them -6. But,
okay, they must have picked up a few yards somewhere.
Somewhere.
And Robert, he's keeping me in line here.
Well, Doug's stats help me.
Yeah, Doug is terrific. We got to give credit to our stat man, Doug Johnson.
There is a player down on the field for the North Sanpete Hawks. He's being assisted off the field.
And we would take a timeout, but I'll give a chance for some score updates, and I'll give some of those. Here we go. It's Logan 38, Judge Memorial 0. Ben Lohman leading Park City 35-14. Tooele leading Stansbury 27-9. Just some scores of interest there. We'll give a couple more scores while we get things situated here. It is Springville 14, Maple Mountain 7. Diamond Ranch beat Layton Christian 50-14. Rich beat Monticello 24-0. Union beat Richfield tonight 41-18. Beaver beat North Summit 21-17. And last score, Cedar leading Juab 21-20. Morgan beating Delta 42-12 tonight. Now, shotgun formation, 2nd down, and we'll call it 9. Dinos, Rasmussen back to pass, pump fakes, and he's hit. The ball is incomplete.
Applegarth is saying, it's Sanpete's ball, it's Sanpete's ball. But they're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's a good call by the referee.
It was a good call.
Clock does run. 4:12 to go, 4:11. On the incomplete pass, we are in the mercy rule. North Sanpete leading 55-8. And now Rasmussen will take his time, come under center. Double wing formation. Does send man in motion. Fakes the handoff on a dive play to Olson. Now throws over, and is it complete?
I think it is over there. I think it was Maurer on the reception.
And Maurer's going to catch it just shy of the first down as he picks up 6-7 yards. So the ball's at the 43-yard line. 4th down. We'll call it a long 4 or a short 5. They have to get to the 38 for the first down on the 4th down play here. And now they're going to punt. I thought the Dinos might do a fake. It's fumbled, picked up by the Dinos right around the 12, 13-yard line.
A young North Sanpete player taking a chance, trying to make a reception on that punt. It turns into a Dino football. They're going to have an opportunity to score again in this football game.
So the Dinos have it. I thought they would go for it. They instead chose to punt, which ended up being a wise decision as they recovered the fumble on the punt. And it's at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for Carbon. Clock is running, 2:47, 55-8, North Sanpete with the lead. Dinos been unable to run tonight. We'll see if they choose to run still here. No, quick pass. It's nice. It's incomplete pass.
Boy, Fawcett just too anxious to run. He saw a little seam inside on that as they sent Olson, the running back, out there to block and bust
Carbon
Fawcett
has
open.
taken timeout here, Robert. 55-8. North Sanpete with the lead. 2:26 to go. Dinos looking at 2nd and 10 at the Hawk 15-yard line when we come back.
MKJ Construction has been serving central Utah and the surrounding area for over 30 years. Whether you have a project as large as a new road or water line or as intricate as a decorative landscape feature, we have the experience and equipment to complete any size project. We also deliver sand, gravel, road base, topsoil, and landscaping boulders. Call MKJ Construction at 427-9299, 427-9299, and see what we can do for you.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. North Sanpete well on hand here with a victory over the Carbon Dinos. They're going to move to 2-2 as they prepare to take on the Delta Rabbits in Delta next Friday evening, the start of region play. And the Dinos, I have to look and see. I've got their schedule here. And I'll pick that up later. The Dinos looking at 2nd down and 10 at the Hawk 15-yard line. And they fake the dive play on the left. And it's going to be carried and going in for a touchdown. It's going to be close. Is Taylor Rasmussen. Did he get in?
I don't believe he quite got in, but he got very close. And, he sent his halfback deep, and Fawcett goes deep and cleared out that whole far side as they were trying to shut down those pass receivers. And Rasmussen just went in behind him. They did a nice job of blocking for him. Gets very near the end zone.
So it's on the 1-yard line. It'll be interesting. They've been unable to run on this Hawk team. Will they try and run? I would guess they will. And I would guess it's going to go to Maurer in the backfield. And the give is to Maurer, and Maurer didn't get in.
He got in.
Touchdown Carbon. Maurer on a dive play.
Touchdown, Carbon Dinos.
And with 1:31 to go, it's 55-14. And the Dinos will now go for their try. And they do bring a tee out on the field.
Logan Nelson to attempt the PAT.
And Olson getting set to kick it. And Olson's kick is up, and it looks good. It is good. So Carbon able to convert on the fumble recovery from the 15-yard. It's 55-15 in favor of North Sanpete. We'll come back with a kickoff.
When you're looking for the most exceptional value in an ATV side-by-side, look no further than your local Kimco dealer, Skyline Motorsports. John Lee and his crew at Skyline Motorsports know the area and the people living here and want to remain friends long after the deal is done. Plus, you don't want to spend another winter shoveling snow, do you? All Kimco side-by-sides can be fit with a snowplow. And Skyline Motorsports is your headquarters for small engine repair, ATVs, chainsaws, snowblowers, lawnmowers. Hey, if it's got a small engine, LeVar can fix it. Check it all out at Skyline Motorsports, south of Fairview on Highway 89.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
All right, welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. The Hawks are just a minute 31 away from their second win of the season. They'll move to 2-2 on the season. Carbon will fall to 1-3. And it's going to be an onside kick attempt, and I believe the Dinos are going to recover. They cannot advance the kick, though. We'll have to see where they mark it. They can recover it, but they cannot advance the kickoff. The onside kick was recovered by Olson. He did take it down to the 20-yard line.
They've got it marked on about the 40-yard line.
And so they'll bring it back to where Nathan Olson recovered it. Again, it's just like a punt. You cannot advance a punt. And on a kickoff return, it's where they can recover it, but they cannot advance it. Yeah, I'll tell you. And I tell you what, this Carbon team has done a lot of good things tonight. You would look at the score and say it's 55-15, but I'll be honest with you, I've been impressed with a lot of things they've done.
They've done some really good things out there, and for a first-year coach, he's got a little bit of a clue about the game of football. I've been impressed with some of the things that they've pulled off, and a nice-looking team. They just run into a whirlwind here with the North Sanpete Hawks.
So now, at this point in the game, you're just hoping you have no injuries to any of your key players. And that's always a factor. Shotgun formation, back to passes Rasmussen, pump fake, throws down, it's a great pass, and it's going to be caught. And down to the 10, the 5, and brought down to the 4-yard line is Talon Albeta.
Albeta has had some huge catches this evening, and let's look and see how many yards receiving Albeta has right here. He has got over 100 yards receiving on 4 catches.
That was a well-designed play. The Dinos threw 2 receivers down there. They're in single coverage. And so now Rasmussen will come under the center. All Carbon's yards have been in the air. And they'll be close to 200 yards now. Pitch around on the right side goes to Logan Olson. And Olson's going to be brought down for a loss. And I believe Carbon's going to take time out with 43 seconds to go. Carbon does. They lose yardage from the 3-yard line out to the 10-yard line. And Carbon has taken time out. So we'll take a timeout, come back with the conclusion to tonight's ball game between North Sanpete and Carbon.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with a touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
All right, welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, where the North Sanpete Hawks, with a 55-15 lead over Carbon. Carbon recovered an onside kick. They threw a long pass down to the 3-yard line, and then Carbon tried to run the football. They're in negative yardage, and again, they lost yardage from the 3 back to the 10-yard line. If I were Carbon, and not that I'm trying to tell them what to do, but more than likely you'll see a pass play here.
Well, they certainly have been much more efficient passing the football than they have running the football.
Well, they did score on a running play for their last touchdown, but it was a 1-yard run.
They want 42 seconds on the clock.
Really? So we put more time on the clock. We are in the mercy rule, 55-15, but they put the clock back up. I think Carbon just wants to be able to run some plays here.
You know, you've got to respect that. A new coach, he definitely wants to run this out right here and give his young men an opportunity to score.
Rasmussen from an I formation gives to the second back on a dive play on the right side, and they're going to pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. I have to pick up who that ball carrier. I think that was Chatterton. So 3rd down and goal. The ball is marked at the 9-yard line. And now back to pass is Rasmussen. A little flare pass, and it looked like it's going to be intercepted. And North Sanpete intercepts the football. And that was Atkinson who recovered, who did the interception. Waylon Atkinson. 10 seconds going about the football game. You want to join us for our post-game show. We do have a Cavalier Pizza Offensive Player of the Game award to give away. And there's no mystery in my mind who Robert gave that to, but we'll find out. And then we do have a Sanpete Valley Conoco Defensive Player of the Game. And I can see him with deep thought here.
Boy, we're really thinking hard on this one.
And hard to give away awards here. North Sanpete's looked really good tonight, defensively and offensively. And now the clock's going to run out as North Sanpete did not have to hike the football when it was marked ready to play. And the final score is 55-15 in favor of North Sanpete over Carbon. We'll take a break and come back with our Sunrise Engineering postgame show.
High-speed Wi-Fi. Not quite as important as running water in your home, but close. CentraCom powers your Wi-Fi network with consistent speeds to keep all your gadgets going strong. Streaming video players, laptops, tablets, even smartphones, so you're never stuck with those big cell data charges. And talk about value. Just pick your speed and keep the Wi-Fi flowing in your home at a great low price. Upgrade your internet today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant is always working hard to be your neighborhood grocer. And with items like their famous ugly steaks, I mean, how can something so ugly going on the grill taste so good coming off? And their homemade salsa and cowboy caviar are a hit anywhere they're served. And in the bakery, you'll find Terrell's own roll and scone dough that will brighten up any get-together. Plus, Terrell's prides itself on its produce department, where the finest and fresh produce at great prices can always be found. Drop in today for the best in prices and friendly service. Your neighborhood grocer, Terrell's Thriftway in Mount Pleasant.
Are you looking for comfort, quality, and reliability with your furniture, appliances, or electronics? That's exactly what you find at Beck's Home Furnishings in Mount Pleasant. Choose from a variety of Ashley furniture, Whirlpool and Maytag appliances, and quality electronics. So whether you're looking for a good night's sleep, relaxing in your favorite chair, having a pleasant family dinner, or getting the chores done, Beck's can help. Plus, Beck's has outstanding prices and special sales every week. Visit them today at 14 West Main in Mount Pleasant or online at shopbecks.com.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured the Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones & DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesandemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones & DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
All right, welcome back here to Mount Pleasant. Robert Anderson, Rick Robinson with Barrett Hilton doing our production work, and the North Sanpete Broadcasting Club doing our filming tonight on our live CentraCom Channel 10. And we've had Doug Johnson doing our stats tonight. Terrific job by him. And our final score here in Mount Pleasant is the North Sanpete Hawks 55, the Carbon Dinos 15. And I know Robert's got some awards here and some stats. Why don't you go ahead and give us some stats so you can have.
Hey, we'll do that. First of all, we will look at the stats quickly right here. First downs, Carbon 7, North Sanpete 20, rush yards, rushes for the Carbon Dinos, 25, a total of 5 yards rushing in this football game. North Sanpete 26 rushes for 323 yards. Passing yards 225 for the Dinos, 237 for the Hawks. Let's look at a couple other things right here. North Sanpete did fumble the ball 3 times, and they lost it twice. Penalty yards 7 for the Dinos for 59 yards. North Sanpete had 11 penalties for 81 yards. Time of possession, the Dinos won this battle 31 minutes and 41 seconds. North Sanpete just scored too fast. 16, just over 16 minutes. And the scoring was just fantastic by the North Sanpete Hawks. It was an unbelievable football game for them offensively, and they did a tremendous job moving the football, especially in the second half. They were dynamite on this field this evening and dominated this football game. They come out victorious 55-15. For the final score, North Sanpete over the Carbon Dinos.
And we do have some awards to give away. Our Cavalier Pizza Offensive Player of the Game. It's the place for freshly made pasta, pizza, and a salad bar. You can call for takeout at 462-3388. Schedule a party, company meeting in their new party room, and they're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m. And who's going to be our Cavalier Pizza Offensive Player of the Game?
Hey, our Cavalier Pizza Offensive Player of the Game, Spencer Applegarth. A tremendous football game for him. He rushes 14 times for 190 yards. He catches 4 passes for 77 yards. He had the only positive receiving yards for North Sanpete, 7 yards receiving. So just an outstanding game for Spencer Applegarth. Just really ignited this Hawk football team in the second half. Just a tremendous game for him. And our
we have a Sanpete Valley Conoco Defensive Player of the Game.
Our defensive player of the game goes to Trey Sorensen. He has 4 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles, total of 5.4 5.5 tackles in this football game. Just an outstanding game by another one of the seniors. Trey Sorensen is our defensive player of the game. He will receive a Sanpete Conoco player of the game defensively, and he can slip over to Moroni and redeem this coupon at Sanpete Valley Conoco.
Yeah, they have delicious barbecue turkey sandwiches. You want to get their refreshing frazzle or top-notch jerky. They're serving delicious pizza, treats, and drinks. For bulk fuel, oils, and lubes delivery, call 435-262-0416. Mike and Jan appreciate the staff at Sanpete Valley Conoco, Robert.
Hey, just some outstanding awards for these two young men. The Sanpete Valley Conoco, our defensive player, and Cavalier pizza player of the game right here in Mount Pleasant, right inside Terrell's Market. Terrell does a great job with his market here in Mount Pleasant. So these two young men need to go in and say thanks to these sponsors of our Player of the Game awards.
Again, tonight's postgame is brought to you by Sunrise Engineering. They're promoting athletic and academic excellence. Visit them at sunrise-eng.com. Sunrise Engineering, making the things you do every day better every day. And we do have some scores we'll pass along to our listeners. It was Cedar beating Juab tonight 21-20. It was Dixie beating Canyon View 55-34. It was Morgan beating Delta 42-12. Manti leading Emory 44-27. Millard beat Enterprise tonight 13-12. Grand beat Gunnison 49-28 tonight. And Duchesne leading Kanab 14-0. Milford beat Altamont 29-20. And Murray beat Juan Diego 28-7. American Leadership leading North Sevier 27-7. And that's with 5 minutes to go in that ball game. And San Juan beating Summit Academy tonight 41-14. South Summit over South Sevier 54-0. And the final one I wanted to pass along was the Richfield score, where Beaver beat North Summit 21-17. Union beat Richfield 41-18 tonight. And want to thank our production staff here tonight, where we had Barrett Hilton, always doing a nice job, and he's got a nice smile there. Thank you, Barrett. Want to thank the North Sanpete Broadcasting Club. Also give credit to Doug Johnson, his great job with stats. And we do have a score update. Utah leading Utah State 24-14. And Robert, thank you for letting me work with you.
Hey, my pleasure. It's always nice to be along Mike's side with you, Rick, and an outstanding football game to announce. Plenty of action, and our hat is tipped for the North Sanpete coaching staff as well as the Carbon Dinos. I'd like to see the innovative offense by the Dinos. This is going to be a good football team in the future. I like the innovation on this wing tee offense, and they know how to get the ball through the air. And they've done quite well on the ground this year, but they run into such a tough defense by the North Sanpete Hawks. Tip our hats to both of the coaching staffs and these young men that have certainly entertained us this evening.
Now Carbon will travel to Emory to take on the Emory Spartans for their first region game of the season next week. And for the Hawks, they'll travel to Delta. And you can join us on that game on KMGR next Friday night at 7 o'clock when they'll travel to Delta and take on the Hawks. They'll take on the Rabbits. And also tomorrow night when BYU will host the Boise State Broncos, the 20th ranked Boise State Broncos, at 8:15. You can join that on one of our stations in Mid-Utah Radio. Until next week when the Hawks take on the Delta Rabbits, we bid you good evening. Again, the final score, North Sanpete 55, Carbon 15.
You've been listening to exciting high school football action on South Central Utah's sports leaders, Mid-Utah Radio and CentraCom Channel 10. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. Join us next time for more exciting high school football action on CentraCom Channel 10 and Mid-Utah Radio.